Good morning or good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I've had an interesting time getting this started. It's been a little bit of a harrowing journey. So I made the mistake of inadvertently deleting portions of my mod list of my playset before starting here. So that's been one of the really fun challenges I've been working through. So between that and then StreamerBot didn't load up multi-chat. So yeah, it's been kind of a mess. Lewis, it did just start. Chatty, thank you for being here. Poplar Ponderosa, thank you for being here. We're gonna spend a little bit of time today in Bayport adding some French assets. As you can tell from the picture, I spent a little bit of time on one little block and it took a long time to do that. But I want to experiment with it because I want to get better using this asset pack and some of the other European asset packs. This kind of comes back to Revo. I had a conversation with Revo and he's all ads. Well, in the meantime, hello YouTube. Twitch seems very filled with ads right now and very unhappy. The asset packs are awesome. They are. We'll talk about that. Well, I feel like we also have to talk about the other bit of news. How do I activate Chirper to have his eyes on fire? You have to have Anarchy installed. Control A then. Another 30 seconds for Twitch apparently. Sorry guys. Yeah, the big news. We'll talk about it when Twitch's ad break is done. In the meantime, hopefully you guys all had a good Halloween if you celebrate. Went out last night myself. That's the reason why we're having a daytime stream. I should spam ads during the waiting screen. I normally I do, and I forgot to because I was busy doing a couple of things trying to make it work. Hi from Brazil. Hello. Thank you for being here, Lucas. Lucas, you should let me know how the Brazilian subtitles have been, or not the Brazilian dubbing. Hopefully it's good. Thank you. I'm glad you like the shirt, Ricky. Looks like Twitch is back. So obviously we've got some big news. If you guys are unaware, the traffic mod, which I have in my playset, let's see, traffic right here. It had an update that was pushed earlier this week. If you had it installed and you played the game in between, I think Monday and Tuesday, there's a chance between Monday and Tuesday and yesterday morning, there's a chance that you could have had a potentially malicious DLL sent your way. Not everyone got it. For some reason, I didn't get it. I think it is super sucks. I don't know what to say besides it absolutely sucks. It's not the first time that a malicious file has been pushed as part of a mod. It won't be the last time. It's kind of one of those deals with the devil that you make when you accept so many mods. It's one of the reasons why I think many people would like that core functionality, or what they see as core functionality, such as like the line tool, is incorporated into the game because it minimizes that sort of risk. But it happened. A lot of people kind of lashed out at Paradox Mods. I think it could have happened on Steam. What's a DLL? DLL is a system file. So the mods come looking like DLLs. They're not sure what's bad about it, but they're saying change your passwords as a precaution if you have this on your system. So I would recommend going, if you are unaware of this, there is a post on the subreddit with all of the info. So definitely pop on here, go down. They tell you where to look. They tell you where to look to see if the file is there. Oh, there's an update on for today. Continuing to work to determine the nature of the file that was added to traffic. As a rule, all mods have always been run through a virus scan. Well, that's good. Okay. Well, the guidance was basically pointing out where the bad file was. So if you copy this into Explorer, and if this were to come up for you, you would know that you have the malicious file. I don't have it. I never had it. I got lucky. I think that was a lot of that came down to working on the sponsored video. That's kind of how I got lucky. How'd someone even update the mod with the DLL file? I don't know. I mean, so here's where people have been chastising Paradox mods for a variety of reasons. Here's what I will chastise them on. It's 2024, man. What doesn't have two-factor identification? I have two-factor identification for my NAS. So, I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing to me that wasn't a thing. So that is a real issue. Who knows why? Who knows if it was a cookie that was stolen? Who knows if it was a password? Who knows why exactly it happened? But that's where I hope that they reconsider that and add two-factor. Most US, oh no. Okay, my banks have two-factor identification. Even so I go to multiple banks. My local community bank has it. And then my big national bank, Chase, has it. So I don't know why. Fair enough. There are lots of places that don't have it, but I think more should. And if you're going to allow people to upload files, you probably should. They did make changes, and now if you are a mod creator, Chase two-factor is not great, but it is better than nothing. Now, if you are a mod creator, if your mod is updated, you'll get an email. So that is something. That is something. Yeah, I got a radio. I think that's the saddest thing is I think a lot of people were waiting for these assets to get back into the game, and yeah. But I guess here's where I'll couch this and where my thoughts are. The night before this happened, I was sitting on the couch with my wife, and we were getting ready to watch a TV show, and I got a message from Chase saying that I had a weird charge on my account, 90 cents. Hold on, guys. A strange 90-cent charge. And ultimately, I had my credit card compromised the night before. The card I used for my bills and my groceries compromised the night before. And yeah, two-factor can be defeated. There was a really interesting video about that actually recently. But the point I'm trying to make is I think that unfortunately this is kind of the state of the world. I think that bad actors are looking to acquire information in any way that they can. So yeah, it's you should just you should do your best, do your due diligence, and when you have a breach of your information, change your passwords. I mean, I think I've given this a lot of thought. My Chase card being compromised. I think it was because I have AT&T for internet, and AT&T had a breach, and I think that my card number was a part of that breach. But who knows? So many different places. So yeah. Yep, credit. That's why you don't trust credit, Nash. They contacted me, and if a charge would have gone through, I would have been protected. I mean, I think that you should feel very good about a credit card as long as you're using it appropriately. And no matter what companies do, hackers will always be a step ahead. It certainly feels that way. It feels like this is just the state of the world. It sucks. I guess because of that, I think this could have happened anywhere. I think it sucks, but it could have happened anywhere. I think that the timing is really what sucks, though. Really not cool. Credit cards are great as long as you don't overuse them. Yeah, I have always. When I was really young, when I was in college, I got a credit card with a $200 limit, and I didn't have any money, and I had to print some projects. So I went to Walmart and I bought a printer, and I charged the printer and the ink and the paper to the credit card, and it was I ended up destroying my credit because I couldn't pay it back. So yeah, not good at all. Not good at all. And after that, I pay off my credit card every month if I can. So yeah, Gary. First of all, I'm missing some activity. The Blind City Builder, thank you for the tier 1. Light Bubble, thank you for the tier 1. Soundimus, thank you for the prime. Meow, thanks, thank you for the prime. God of Radio, thank you for the tier 1 for 11 months. But a bunch of wonderful months and a great community and great content. Thank you, God of Radio. Old School Mike, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for all the wonderful content. Appreciate you. I Maya, thank you so much for the tier 1. Glad you're hyped. I am too. I've got a couple more things I want to talk about. before we get building a ton. Topher, thank you so much for the Prime. Camper, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Super generous of you. Appreciate you. Gary, you're a pro tip from a cybersecurity expert. Pay all of your bills through bill pay using institutional's bill pay system. The account should be a standalone account that's never used for anything ever. Yeah. So that, Gary, I think I'm going to take... You guys are all dealing with a bunch of password changing pain. I'm dealing with the pain of changing every single... Because I have one credit card that all my bills go on to, and we use that credit card also for the grocery shopping and stuff like that, I have to change everything. And it's the second time I've had to do that this year, and it sucks. I'm over it. It's the second time in 3 or 4 months. So yeah, definitely stinks. 6 months. Appreciate you, Abbott. Thank you. Thanks for all your content. Thank you for being here, man. It's wild. Before we start, I want to tell you guys about something. Bueno Churro. I actually saw your email in the middle of recording. Before we start on that, I'm going to show you what we are going to the next video. I'll give you guys a little bit of hint, a little hint about this. So I made this map. This is Rock Island. It's on the mitten of Wisconsin. So if this is Wisconsin, this is where it is. It's Washington Island is right here, and that's Door County. And then this is actually a state park. And the next video is a challenge to everybody, but particularly content creators. We are going to it's a population challenge. You got 1 hour, vanilla, with the exception of visual enhancing mods and the French pack. And I'm challenging you all to put together the largest city you can in 1 hour, and it has to be attractive. It's not exactly one tile. I modified the tiles. It's something similar to the 9 tile area, but to fit around this. I was talking with Poplar about it, and thankfully, through the conversations, I was able to figure it out. But anyway, I'm gonna upload this maybe today, maybe tomorrow to Paradox Mods. It's a nice map, very simple. Basically, the wind goes this way. In terms of terrain, it's not all that flat. There's like a flat area right here, and then kind of a plateau up here. There is a rail line and a highway coming in right here, and that's it. So you have an hour to do your best. So after I post the video, there'll be 2 weeks where you guys can build. I want you guys to submit to me on, yeah, it does look like a stingray, doesn't it? That's what Poplar Ponderosa said as well. Washington, I know Washington does it. And so the funny thing is, this is north of Washington Island on just a park. I think that the only thing on this island is a cemetery for miners, if I'm not mistaken, like an old historic cemetery. RPG DMCA, we did Mackinac. We did that at Nicolay Bay. That was like, it's impossible in City Skylines 2 right now, but I'd love to do it again. It was a lot of fun. So this one, once I upload it, you get 2 weeks. Make your best attempt if you're a video creator. Make a video. If you're not, I'll get some pictures from you guys and the save. I'm gonna choose from the top 10% of population, and I'll make a video about it. Then you guys get to vote on who wins. Whoever wins, I'm gonna give you anything you want from the merch store, any one item, and then a $50 Steam gift card. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Resources, there's some ore, and then fertile everywhere, and then tons of trees. So yes, it's a good one. It's a good one. I think it should be a good one. You could barely start a city in 1 hour. Well, so here's the fun thing about an hour. There is the potential of balancing the budget if you're really, really, really lucky. But it's a short enough amount of time that you could take a whole bunch of loans out and not have to repay them. I just did it this morning. Actually, that's one of the reasons why I'm failing right now at the stream. Is I was thinking to myself, I got to record this right before I woke up. I got dressed, and then I ran downstairs and started recording the video. So mine's done. It is. I don't know if I want to tell you. I'll make you guys wait. My editor's actually working on it right now. Oh, Gwyneth, thank you for being here, and 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. I think in honor of that, I will drop this map for channel members and Twitch subs early. I'll upload it. You know what? You guys can stare at my face for a second. I'm going to upload that for all of the members. And I will thank Gwyneth for that. Thank you so much. That 10 to get, that's super generous. 11 months of tier 1 as well. It's amazing. Thank you. Give me 1 second. 1 second. And new folder. Actually, we have a challenges folder. Anyone who's got access to this folder, you know. I am going to be another 1 second. You guys get an unfair advantage. It's uploaded right now. But I will put it on Paradox Mod so you don't have to deal with all of the nonsense. Give me 1 more second and we'll get back into Bayport. Sure, while you're at work. The Planksta. You got weeks. You got weeks to figure it out. You got weeks. But you'll have it tonight. I want to make it look pretty, so I'm not sure that it's going to make it to Paradox Mods today. Definitely by tomorrow. And I've got to put together a Google form too for you guys to submit everything. So yeah, it's going to be good. Elijah, good to see you, buddy. Like the shirt, thank you. I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well. So anyway, will I finish Clearwater County? Can I tell you the number one limiting factor for me finishing Clearwater County right now? It has been that I had to reformat my machine. And the thought of loading Clearwater County back up is demoralizing. That said, Teddy putting together that map pack got me at least back into CS1. And I was very close to doing a scenario today in CS1 rather than doing this. But I'm excited about both, and I really want to learn how to use the French pack. But you love Clearwater County? I know. And I've got, the next one is the last one. I think that's the other thing. There's that finality bit that I think is always hard. How do you delete the malicious file? Just delete it. Once you find it, delete it. And then if you found the file on your machine, I'd run a virus scan. Although I've heard that many aren't actually picking it up. And again, no one really knows what it is. So why did I have to reformat my computer? It's funny that you asked that. I had hold on. I don't know if I have it in here still. I had the Samsung drive that would lock itself up. So I was playing one day, and all of a sudden, my entire machine started going read-only, and I started losing everything. So I was able to back everything up, or back up most everything, and I ended up going with a Western Digital NVMe drive. And I will probably never buy another Samsung drive, even if they resolve all their issues because of that. Riri, good to see you in here, buddy. Riri, did you miss what I just said about the challenge? Because if you did, I want to see what you do, Riri. Monka, I'm glad that you're here. I won't tell your boss. I'm glad you caught that, Riri. I want to see what you do. I've already challenged Biffa and Overcharged Egg as well. Hopefully they take me up on it. So I think what I want to do, so just so you guys are aware, this is what I built. You might have noticed that I added tram tracks. I feel like if we're going to go Frenchish, we need to have some tram tracks. We'll get rid of these ugly hotels, and we'll have some trams through here. We'll probably stick our depot back here, and maybe have it run straight through here, call a mulligan in this area. And then I want this, I think we're going to kind of take our core and pull it towards the water and try to make this a more integrated portion of the downtown. And obviously we put no landscaping in here because I was just happy to escape with this thing working. For anyone who missed the last stream, we have a maze, which was a lot of fun to put together. But basically there's an invisible path. We have to finish this. And now everyone is forced to funnel through this maze that we created, which is based on the maze in the Barcelona Botanical Gardens. So you see all of these people walking through the maze. It was a lot of fun. Really, really fun build. So yeah, we've got to flesh that out. And I think bringing the Parisian assets into this area is going to make that all feel really, really good. Speaking of reformatting, another way to make sure you fully get rid of the virus is to back up. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You could do that. I think it's not the route that I would go. Not right now. Not yet. We still don't know exactly what happened, what it was. You could do that. I mean, listen, it's a personal decision for everybody. It's not. If I had it on my machine, it's not the course of action I would take until I understood what the problem was. I think I would change passwords first. That would be what I would do. I'm lagging, but not by much. I don't know what's lagging. Is it my voice? If it is, I'll try to recalibrate it soon. It's Phil's big brother, mechanical fundamentalist ruler monument. Be careful, not enough symmetry. That is true. If you guys saw the Tlatoani video, that's a big thing in the Aztec city builder. You have to have a lot of symmetry. And I definitely not done that here. We're making this feel very American, and now we'll make it feel French. I think I'm gonna start. I want to get rid of this ugly commercial that we spammed. This was basically here to test to see if we could get hotels. We got them. We'll do better. Then this right here was for the screenshot. So I'm going to get rid of that as well and then extend the grid down. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is I don't want to enable a connection that's going to force our grid right here to stop being used, or our maze. So I'll need to give that some careful thought. Sounds fine on YouTube. What's the disconnected road by the maze? So basically, we got rid of the parking lot up front, and we have a parking lot over here. So if you want to visit the Botanical Gardens, you have to walk through what is essentially, we've got that invisible path right there. So everyone's going through the maze to get here. And this road is actually from our poplar build. This road doesn't allow any pedestrian activity. So we need a segment of this because the moment, let's just say, I think, I actually haven't tested this, but I think if we upgrade this, everyone is going to walk to the gardens on this road. But I guess it doesn't hurt to test it. I definitely, we hadn't done that. The other thing, parking. It adds parking. Not ideal. Anyway, yeah. Park Life is the GOAT DLC. It is the best one, in my opinion. I miss Park Life as well. That said, the next Magnolia County, our goal is going to be to Park Life it as best we can. Obviously, we have many limitations. But yeah. Will we add any buildings around the gardens? Will adding it break the functionality of the maze? It depends on how well integrated they are. And we have to see. I'm testing that very thought. By adding this segment of road right here, we're going to see if anyone walks through the maze. We're still seeing activity, but it's probably too early to tell. So basically, two things we've got to look out for. We can't get too close to this. So I think let's just build out these roads quickly. I think 80 was what we had. There we go. If I bring these up, but I don't connect all the way through like this, then maybe it'll be okay. And maybe we just deviate the road a little bit anyway, and that's how we deal with it. Just something like that. And then we'll have some sort of decorative path with some trees lining this. I wish we had more colorful trees, because what I really want to do is have a nice walking area out here, and nice trees and exhibits and things of that nature around here. Kind of like the garden in Madison, Aubert Garden. Houseman up, yeah. Exactly. 1 hour city. It is a 1 hour city. Do you guys want to know my population in the 1 hour city? No. You know what? The video's going to come out soon enough. I'm not going to tell you guys. But I do have to tell you guys one thing. The other thing, I let this out on Discord. If you're not following me on Twitch, I would recommend that you do it. If you're interested in early access to things. Next Tuesday, I am going to be recording the Verde Beach successor on Twitch only. The reason for that is basically that I want to have a video. So I think if I have it on YouTube as well, it'll confuse people. So it'll be Twitch only, and I'm gonna record it just like a video. So I won't be chatting during that time. It'll be 90 minutes of recording. We'll play some GeoGuessr afterwards and hang out, and I will let you guys make some decisions about the direction of the build during the stream. So there'll be a just chatting bit before and after the stream. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think I am breaking the maze path. I think you're right. European, it's gonna be at the same time as this stream, but on Tuesday. So it is a European friendly stream time. I will be upfront. I like the nighttime stream, but also, this is probably an easier time for me for most of the time. So I think that's why we're doing that one then. Let's see. Not broken. It's still good. We're still good. Looking forward to it. Streams can be a bit meandering. You think you'll watch a focus build? Let me submit, but yeah. And that's why I am legitimately, I have to put together another scene, but I'm not going to be in the frame. Chat won't be on the screen. It's going to be, I'm starting a new city, 90 minutes. I'm going to have a timer in front of me. So unlike Magnolia County, where there's these big elaborate stories, I will probably come up with a real basic story, kind of like I did in Verde Beach. No characters. If we do anything, it'll be, characters in that we find. Honestly, on the stream, you're probably not going to see any of that stuff. I'm going to do the tour after the stream and different things like that. But the main build will be on stream, which I think will be fun. Vote by. I think people are encouraging people to vote, which I highly, yeah, that's great. You should. I voted. You should vote. 90 minutes must be a Wisconsin hour. Detailing takes a long time. And that's the one thing I still have not figured out how I'm going to do. I do a lot of the detailing in silence. Aramville, you're planning on voting today? Good. I will say, anyone, like, just to pivot for just a second. Any Americans in here, please go vote. Just go vote. Like, it's like your one civic duty. Just go vote. And if you're not educated enough in the candidates, you have time to research still. Go vote. And that's all I'm talking about it. Is that coffee or a stout? This is a coffee. This is a Turkey Trot by Collectivo Coffee. So it's a Wisconsin coffee. Turn up the music. You'll watch in silence. That's actually interesting. I will come up with a landscaping and detailing scene where the music is louder. That is good. What if it's a coffee stout? Last night I had a stout. So what I love about my neighborhood is I know all the neighbors. We're all well versed with each other at this point. And as we're walking around, the second house I went to offered me a beverage, and then the house I ended on also offered me a beverage. It's good to know your neighbors. That's all. It was for anyone in Wisconsin, it was an absolutely, like, you guys know, it was a miserable day. So cold, so windy. But it could have been worse. I heard that folks in Ohio and Michigan, I think that they were getting downpoured on. So could have been worse. Do I have a favorite fancy coffee order? Now, I'm pretty basic. I like black coffee. I mean, this is going to sound like the most stereotypical Wisconsin thing, but like, I don't mind Quick Trip coffee. Like I will unironically go to Quick Trip for coffee because I think it's good. Cleveland was actually warm. I thought you guys were getting downpoured on. Oh, that makes me upset. It was 80 degrees in Philly. Oh my goodness. It was so we started out, it was 65 in the morning and it got progressively colder all day. And then the wind just started whipping. So it was 45 degrees. And then it got down with the wind chill. It was 32. So for anyone in Europe, we went from basically being room temperature to at freezing throughout the day. And the wind was just whipping. And that was another, like, we have a reef on our front door. It was just bang, 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 bang. 80 in Washington as well. Looking for moderation. I'm curious. What is the person doing? If we're talking politics, that'll be a good way to do it. Quick Trip is an unsub. Quick Trip is the finest gas station in all of America. And I will fight people about that. If you're a true Wisconsinite, you will. So I'm gonna take a step back. We're gonna zone in a bunch of stuff right now. I want to have a nice mix of uses, and I think for the corners, I'm gonna try to zone things in, and then we'll kind of add to it. So I know that the medium corners should allow me to have any type of zoning around. My custom roads seem like they're gonna screw stuff up though. So we'll need to figure that part out. I'm going to try some mixed use corners as well. See how these turn out. So basically just the corners is all I want to think about. And then I think for the offices, we're not level 10 yet. So we can't get the offices because they're high density. You love coffee, but coffee hates you. I feel you there. I've never been to a Wawa. Actually, I might have been to a Wawa. Do they have Wawa in when I drove to Florida? Maybe that was come and go in Florida. Or not Florida, Alabama. When I was there. Maybe it was both. I don't know. You do not deserve Quick Trip? No, so Guy Band, I go Quick Trip with a K. The real Quick Trip, not the fake one. There was a fake Quick Trip. I remember in Birmingham going to a fake Quick Trip and being like, what is this nonsense? I don't know if you guys watch Food Theory at all. It's different since MatPat is gone. But they had a gas station tier list, and I thought it was an absolute tragedy that they had fake Quick Trip and Wawa and not real Quick Trip. Never been to Quick Trip. It's a local gas station chain, but it dominates in Wisconsin. Buc-ee's is good, but Quick Trip is smaller and chiller. We're supposed to be getting a Buc-ee's. It's supposed to be like the first one up here, and it's been a saga. So Buc-ee's actually installed a billboard that said next Buc-ee's 600 miles. And then it was announced, oh, Buc-ee's is actually coming here. And then people got really excited about it. And it seemed like Buc-ee's, no matter who you were, you could get excited about it. If you like brisket, you're getting excited. If you have a big truck and want cheap gas, you're getting excited about it. If you have an EV, they planned a whole bunch of electric vehicle charging. You get excited about it. And then Quick Trip got involved, is the rumor anyway, and started basically mucking up the whole situation. And now we're not sure if Buc-ee's is actually gonna be able to be here or not. So we'll have to see. You don't understand the idea of eating at a gas station, let alone getting excited about it? Well, from my understanding, Buc-ee's is they have really good brisket, and it flies off the shelf so fast that it ends up being really fresh. For Quick Trip, I think if you have to travel, it is very nice knowing that the place that you're going is going to have reasonably fresh food. And I feel like it's consistent. You know, with Quick Trip, you're going to get nice, good, fresh food. Yeah. And they have local baked goods. Yeah. Council should provide free EV charging. Okay. I actually really disagree with that. And I'm an EV driver. And here's the thing. That's like saying that councils or cities should provide gas stations like that. Now, like, I really believe fully that it needs to be privatized, but I think it also has to make sense for the private companies to actually want to do it. I think that the route that governments have been going, or at least the U.S. government, attempting to provide, basically allowing locals to provide subsidies. So like, I know Quick Trip was like big on it. Quick Trip is actually, speaking of Quick Trip, they're providing, I think they got 30 EV stations they're going to be adding right to Quick Trip. Like, it's just brilliant. Like, they get it. Like, if you don't like EVs, fine. But that'd be like saying, you know what? I don't like the internet. I'm not into it. And as a result, I'm going to stick my head in the sand and I'm going to watch my broadcast TV and read my newspaper. Like, they are what's happening. And Quick Trip, the fact that Quick Trip, a major gas station chain, lobbied the state to get a whole bunch of money to build EV stations at their gas stations, I think tells you everything. Motorway service is how many ways can we screw the customer over? Well, that's supply and demand. I mean, just if you think about it, it's a limited, I mean, it's basic supply and demand. I think yes, they're not good deals, but that's not why you go to them. You don't go to a convenience store because it's cheap. You go there because it's convenient. It's in the name. EVs are cool, but you prefer performance cars with a manual transmission. I think there'll always be a place for enthusiast vehicles, but I don't think I think it's they're going to go the way, you know, I look at it this way. Growing up, my dad had this old Pontiac. We picked it up in Wyawega at a car show, and he painstakingly restored it. It was his baby. I remember this thing. And it took leaded fuel. And, you know, at the time I was living in Merrill, Wisconsin, little tiny town. And there was one gas station on the edge of town that had leaded gasoline. And it was the only place that he could buy fuel for this vehicle. But here's the thing. That gas station, if it's even still there, I guarantee it no longer sells leaded fuel. Because just like I think normal everyday ICE vehicles right now are, I think how they're going to be phased out. Same deal. The same situation as leaded gasoline. It's my hypothesis anyway. EVs should have manual transmission emulators available. So the funny thing is, it should be possible. So mine has fake engine sounds if you want it. And it has different driving modes. Like, so for mine, there's a driving mode that is basically incredibly aggressive. And if I have it on, my wife refuses to drive in the car with me. So if they can have different driving modes, why couldn't they also have a fake manual transmission? I think the bigger question about that, it's something you only realize after you've driven an EV, is the very best part about an EV is not having a transmission. So yeah, I don't really get that personally. And I used to be a manual transmission guy too. Long live the V8. Wonder what's the to-do with electric? I think change is hard. And I think the other thing about electric vehicles, if you like working on cars, the big criticism I will have with an EV, it's also the biggest positive. They need no maintenance. And there's nothing for you to do because it's all software. So like if you want to improve your vehicle and make it, a performance vehicle, like there's not, all you can really do is cosmetic stuff to it. You kind of lose a lot of autonomy over customizing your vehicle. And that's never really been a me thing, but I know a lot of people really care about that. So I think that's probably the biggest reason why there's a lot of pushback. That's just me, hypothesizing. Fake engine sounds for EVs are sometimes because of blind people. Well, no. So I hear what you're saying. So mine makes like a weird, it almost sounds like, some vehicles have like futuristic whirling sounds. Mine has it sounds like a crane backing up. It's not a nice sound. It sounds terrible. Beeping. The actual engine sound is pumped inside, just in case you want to feel like you're driving an ICE vehicle. And I don't really get it personally. Again, it's like one of the benefits of not driving it is you don't realize how loud a conventional vehicle is until you don't have the engine noise. Then you kind of realize how loud the other stuff can be. Like wind and whatnot. The new Renault. It's like the one vehicle that we can't get here. Well, that and all the Chinese ones. And I'm happy with the Chinese ones not being here. Record the sound. I mean, I might be able to find a YouTube video with it. Well, I'll see if, give me a second. Maybe we'll find a YouTube video with the sound. It's just a beeping sound. It's honestly pretty, I bet you there's no video because it's not very interesting. It's just a kind of an irritating beeping. Or the engine sound. Yeah, it's weird. It sounds like it's electronic. Crane Hawk, you've had 3 Teslas, never had to maintain brakes. The regen covers. Yeah, I mean it's hard to. Like, I don't brake. I don't know. It's just they're really nice. Like once you get used to it, like I don't think I'd ever want to drive a non-EV again. Like we have an EV and a hybrid. And the hybrid's nice. I like it. But I would much rather drive the EV every single day. It's more pleasant to drive, and it's just you feel. I think they're more engaging, personally, to drive, which I think people could debate every day. In Austria, probably the most in the entire EU, cars have to make certain levels of noise to be heard properly. Oh, yeah. I assume it's the same thing here. I don't know. I feel like we have regulation in the US that we just don't we don't always know about. It's there. And, when I worked at the Department of Transportation, for instance, I got to hear about a lot of those. But they're kind of just happening in the background. It's part of like the regulatory state, which is fine. I don't think it matters. As long as it's happening, I'm happy. Hot take, EVs have speakers, so they have a good horn, a bad horn. I mean, I think that some EVs, I remember I was walking out. I went to a place, a chicken place with my buddy. And as I was walking out, someone had a Model Y and they made a fart sound. And I feel like if they're able to do that and troll me and my buddy, for sure could have different horns. CPP, you always thought making car engines like trains have the engine that runs at perfect efficiency that charges the battery that powers the car. And so I think that's part of the concept with regen. You're never going to regen enough for it, though. Still don't get range anxiety thing about EVs. Like for the majority who's driving 300 plus miles in the regular. Okay, I will share a range anxiety story. So I took the very first place I took mine. So I mentioned this, I have a Mustang Mach-E. And if you've ever wanted an EV, this is the time to buy them because the prices have just fallen off a cliff. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take this from Madison to Door County. And the Mach-E is one of the only non-Tesla vehicles that is currently allowed at a Tesla supercharger. Hold on. Let me pull up a map. So here is Wisconsin. Madison, we've got our lakes. There's the isthmus. You come up here, and I was heading to Egg Harbor right here. So that is about 120 miles, I believe. So reasonably, you should be able to make it from Madison up here and back on a full tank. But here's the thing. That's your full range is projecting that you have perfect weather conditions. It's flat ground or, it's perfect. And that's not reality. And so we use the AC. So we got to Green Bay and there was an Electrify America charger in Green Bay. Somewhere, I want to say it was by the Myers. So we got off in a roundabout nightmare. I don't know where it is. I probably just spelled it. Oh, there's an I in there somewhere. There it is. So yeah, there's an Electrify America charger right here. Anyone who says we don't have roundabouts, roundabout, all over the place. So coming here, you charge up, and we thought, you know what? We're just going a little bit further. We don't need to charge all the way. So we drive back here, and I noticed that at Egg Harbor, there was a One Barrel Brewing that had a charger. So no big deal. We'll just go get pizza some night and charge a little bit. They were taken. Then I said, okay, well, not a big deal. We'll go over to Bailey's Harbor, and there's a charger at the town hall. We'll go there and charge. There was someone there charging. So we ended up being in the situation where there's nowhere to charge, and we're still driving around. We're driving to get to this charger. We're driving to go to a lighthouse. We're driving around. There's literally no place for me to charge. There is a supercharger in Sturgeon Bay, but I don't have the adapter yet. So we're just kind of driving around. And I got back to the Meijer, and we had like 10% charge left. And I think the biggest unknown there is, if you run out of gas, you know what to do. And if you've driven a car, you've probably experienced it at one point where you've run out of gas and you've had to do the walk of shame to a gas station, buy a gallon of gas, walk it back to your car, fill it up, and then get to a gas station. With an EV, I don't know. I mean, you call Ford and hopefully they pick you up at, 10 p.m. So yeah, that's the big thing. And in the winter, your range is like half of what it says it is. I'm lucky in that my in-laws have a Pacifica, and they have a charger at their house, so we'll charge at their house. But yeah, it's one of those things. Once there are more chargers, I think range anxiety is a thing of the past, but it is a big thing right now. It's like a legitimate concern. Try driving across rural Texas, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana in your car. Yeah, I mean, there are places like that where I think it would be difficult in just a conventional car too. Another way is a quick change battery. So Riley, I don't disagree, but here's the thing. It took years to coalesce around a charging standard, and now North America is going to have a different charging standard than Europe. And I can't help but think that if there were swappable batteries, it would be the exact same situation times 100. AAA is a service. I don't know if AAA does AAA do EV stuff? It's funny. The Ford dealership offered me like oil changes and AAA when I bought my car. I was like, kind of looked at them like, really? we're gonna do that, huh? Quick swap is the same as gas if they can't. That's a good point. That's a good point. You get range anxiety in your hybrid in Ohio or in Idaho? Oh yeah, I could see that for sure. I have a Mach-E. Yeah, I have a Mach-E, and it's without a doubt, it's been the most pleasant experience owning a vehicle I've had. Scotland has no foil fuel power stations, all nuclear, wind, and a bit of wave. That's amazing. You want a green Mach-E? They're really attractive vehicles, and they're really fun to drive. Really fun to drive. Although I will admit, there have been a few people who've come up and been like, look what they did to this Mustang. Nuclear. It's true for everything. A nothing burger from your part. I also have to account for the fossil fuel that goes into building them, which is done. So yeah, I mean, so that's one of those fallacies though. There have been studies on that. Even if the dirtiest EV is cleaner than the whole manufacturing process and life of the vehicle is going to be cleaner than the cleanest non-EV. So like, it's a step in the right direction. There are still issues with it. And I think that the biggest issue is not the production process. I think it's actually where you get your power from. There are a number of places that still use dirty power sources. That's the biggest thing. Is I think that you can be altruistic and say, I'm going to get a car that is clean, and then you can fill it up with electricity that was created by burning coal. And I don't know that you've really done what you think you did at that point. So yeah. Gemini Prime Gaming, good chat. I enjoy chatting about stuff like this. I think it's interesting and fun. What's my opinion of wind power? I think wind power is great. I also think that it's not. So hot take. I'm gonna give you a couple hot takes. Here's where, like, first of all, as I'm giving the hot take, I need to unlock the trams because I'm gonna build that as part of this area. Hold on, Doc. Manufacturing, does that include the child labor from rare earth mining? Remember, conflict diamonds, rare earths are even worse. True. I mean, that is a problem. I mean, but here's the thing, Doc. to avoid that, there are so many products that we would need to. I think we've got to be honest with ourselves with a lot of different things and come up with different ways. The nice thing about EVs is that one of the biggest lithium mines, for instance, was just found, or one of the biggest lithium deposits in the world, which is found in Nevada. So I think that there's those sorts of problems exist with almost every product. I mean, how about your cell phone? Do you like your cell phone? People were paid very unfair wages to produce your phone, and we upgrade them every 2 years when we don't need to. There's no reason to upgrade your iPhone 12 if it still gets updates. I mean, lithium in Arkansas too. Yeah, like so that I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, but I think that if you want to make that argument, we've got to be consistent about that argument across the board. And there's so much stuff that I think consumerism. I mean, you could bring it back to that. Capitalism, consumerism, it drives everyone to do things that they shouldn't. And I don't know how to fix that. And that here's where I was kind of heading. With power, with recycling, with all these different things, I feel like so often as the consumer, you're meant to feel bad about your choice, but really it's these bigger systems that need to change. And the only way that happens is regulation, and it happens at a bigger level than you. So yes, I agree. The rare earth minerals should come from a better place. Also, there's nothing that I can personally do about that. I feel like the only way that I can do something about it is to press the elected officials to do better, because they're the ones who can actually fix those things. So that's where I get frustrated. I mean, it's the same thing with recycling. When you find out that you're recycling your plastic and then they're just like incinerating it, like very frustrating. And there's many things like that. The only thing that you can, really do, I think it's being brought, Arnhem brings up a good point. Ethical consumption. It's really hard under capitalism. You need those larger players to make the changes. It's tough. It's really tough. What other types of power would I like to see in the game? And we have nuclear and geothermal. So talking of power, I think that there needs to be a lot of discussions about nuclear power. I think that from a space standpoint, like I get it, there have been a lot of real bad experiences in the past, but from a space standpoint, it just makes so much more sense than having a whole bunch of wind turbines all over the place. Like, I love wind energy. I love solar energy. I also think that at scale, nuclear is probably going to be the most efficient thing that we could do. And it's got a bad rap. I totally get it. And it's some of it's deserved and some of it's not. They're currently the cleanest, the safest energy across the board completely. Safer per megawatt, more space efficient. So that's the big thing for me. Like the whole wrapping this back around to the EV discussion. I feel like there's not a lot of discussion about where that power is coming from and how, if we want. So let's just say, I get it. Some of you guys don't want the EV, but let's just say it's what you have to do, because I do think how many more Asheville's, how many more major hurricanes before we just kind of all agree, like, okay, we've got to do something. And we're not going to change our ways because we're stubborn, but this is one thing that we can do. So let's just say they mandate that everyone gets an EV, or that EVs only, and that mandate actually goes through. Do we even have enough power right now to fulfill that demand for electricity? I don't know that we do. And I don't want that mandate to come down to have only EVs get produced, and then we're burning coal to charge them. Like that's absolute madness. And I feel like that's the sort of thing that, like, as a consumer, there's nothing I can do about that outside of press my government to do better. We don't have enough power for peak summer. I mean, that is a heck of a good point. That is a heck of a good point. And that's not just a US thing, that's globally. We don't have the grids for it. Yeah. I think part of the ramp up needs to be really working on that. The problem is deeper than cars. Let's be real. Yeah, the problem is deeper than cars. I mean, there's... You know, I think... so I was part of a climate action coalition for a while in my county, where we all just kind of got together and tried to come up with ways to ensure that our county did its best to make its way to net zero. And I'll tell you what, it was both really exciting and also really depressing at the same time, because you start to realize what a challenging goal that is when you realize that, like, even yourself, you're like, some of the things that it would take to get there, man, like, it's hard in the modern world to want to do those things. Think about the amount of energy that, okay, I'm gonna shame us all. I'm surrounded by lights. I'm on a computer. We're all on computers, communicating, enjoying ourselves together, burning a ton of energy. I don't want to stop that though. Like, I enjoy that. Like, I don't know what to say. It's tough. It's real tough. Problem is deeper than cars. Yes, cars are absolutely still a significant portion of the issue. Absolutely. I think the other portion is meat consumption. I'm a red-blooded American. I love to eat cheeseburgers and steaks. I don't know what to do about it. The thing about power plant has high thermal energy than ice. So even if we're using the same fuel, the issue is building the power plants. The real Darklander. That is a good point. I never really thought about that. We're cooked. Your city is pushing $1 billion desalination plant to give water to the oil industry. Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what to say to that. Yeah. I am gonna take a momentary that one got me flustered. Words needed. Thank you for the prime an hour ago. I'm sorry. I got on a rant. Some Wolfman, thank you so much for the prime. Avent, again, thank you for the tier 1. Bill Thursday, thank you for the tier 1. Glacier, thank you so much. Or Glacier, thank you for the prime. CMDG, thank you for the tier 1. Crafty, thank you for the prime. Comflom, I always screw up your name and I feel terrible about this. Comflomas, thank you so much for 6 months of tier 1. Quick Trip is nice, but Sheets has your heart, and Bucky's is kind of just straight up an experience. That's what I hear. Krista Bell, thank you for the tier 1. I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for the biddies as well, Kumplumas. The sounds exist not to appease gas drivers, but because people found the complete silence of luxury interior unsettling, and some people don't realize that the car is on. That is interesting. I'll talk about that in a second. Sono Frobert, thank you so much for the tier 1. And Clint Kev, thank you for the tier 1. You hear the electric sounds in an EV when it's completely silent and you don't know what's on. And my car honks, and my wife swears every single time and says, I hate your effing car. because it makes that honky sound because I forget it's on, and I will just straight up walk out of the vehicle without turning it off. It's a problem. My wife is bass guy. I take it you're not an EV fan, which makes me think that you're a car guy, which makes me think that you should drive an EV. Ads on YouTube? YouTube has ads. That's a new one. I get no notifications about ads on YouTube. I don't even know if you're all getting them or if it's just like one or two of you. We need a dirty coastal swamp industrial. That would be sick. Good evening from Finland. Hey. Vengus. Hopefully everything's good over in Finland. There are EVs coming out now that sound like gas cars, and they're starting to trick even hardcore car lovers. Wait, what kind? I really wish that I could take, like, any of you that don't like EVs, I wish I could take you for a ride, because I think if you rode in one, you would change your mind, or you might at least understand why some people like them. BMW EVs have a sound option. Oh, but that now we're talking. Here's the thing. Everyone thinks that EVs are super expensive. Most are not. BMWs are. Okay, car guy here, and we own an EV BMW iX. Not all car guys hate EVs. That's a good point. My cousin who lives in Asheville, he is a big car guy, and he's the first person I knew. He had one of those, whatever that BMW is, that had the range extender. Was that the iX? That little tiny one? He had that. First person I knew who had one, and he just adored it. You're a car guy, and the only reason you never got an EV is because you were renting. Now that you bought a home, the Ioniq 5 is on your shopping list. So that is a big thing, and it's so in Madison, I can just anecdotally, there were apartment. Okay. Little backstory about my history. I helped work on a plan to try to reduce the overall parking in Madison. So the whole goal was that basically, when you build a new building, you wouldn't have a parking requirement. You would try to actually work down on that. And if you tried to overbuild parking, you get penalized instead of rewarded. So there's a push to that. There's a rub. Talked to a lot of the business community. They did not like it. The rub there is that it makes it hard to get a loan. Businesses think that they won't get customers because they can't park. But there were a number of the one group that was cool about it were apartment owners, because they were like, I don't want to build parking. It's expensive. And as long as you have a nice enough transit system, then it's fine. One of the apartments actually put in a bunch of chargers, and they had pooled EVs that could be used by their tenants as part of their rental cost. So you'd go to the management office, and if you needed to go to Hy-Vee and pick up some groceries, you could check out one of their, I think they had a couple, like 5 Model 3s or something. So it's a really unique way of handling it. And a lot of the newer apartments were saying, we want to add this because we want to be forward thinking. We think that this is what tenants want. We don't want them to not, we basically, if someone is an EV owner, we want them to choose to live at our place as opposed to not being able to because of it. And honestly, like, a lot of them think that it's going to be a necessity anyway. So they were probably the most forward thinking about it. But yeah, another Madison W. So many Madison W's. How was my Halloween? It was good. I went trick-or-treating with the girls. It's very cold. It's fine. Went to a buddy's house. Had a beer. That was fine too. Yeah, it was pretty typical Halloween. My wife stayed back, handed out candy, which was kind of weird. I mean, she ended up not liking that. It was all right though. BMWs lose like 35% of the value out the door. Okay. Aurora Avenue. Any car you buy loses that much value out the door. If you want to make a reasonable car decision and not lose a bunch of value, don't buy a new vehicle. I think that people buy new vehicles for different reasons, though. I think if you're buying a new vehicle, it's because you don't want other people to have driven it. Whatever, that's your call. But if you don't want that depreciation, never buy a new vehicle. It doesn't matter what brand it is. You're going to lose a whole bunch of money the moment you drive it off the lot. It's amazing. Yeah, buy used. Did we have snow? No snow for us. It was cold enough for it, but not, well, with the wind chill. But no snow. No, we were good. If you want a new vehicle, you should just lease it for 2 to 3 years, then consider buying. Bright color, I would say, especially if it's an EV. Especially if it's an EV. Lease an EV because those things depreciate so fast right now. It would be terrible to just buy it and just like get soaked. And they're also very good lease deals. 64 in Arizona. It's like 110 in my office. By the way, QZ, I thought you couldn't be here. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for being here. You're actually in the market for a car. This is discussed. So, Christabel, I will say that if you've never driven an EV, before you buy a car, test one out. I think you'll like it. Also, no maintenance. That's pretty nice. Bought a new car, not to resell it, but to drive forever or till it wrecked. I've always had that same goal as you, Riley, and I never actually follow through with it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have this car until the wheels fall off, and you know, it's like my computer. I get bored, and I like to. I want something different. But the car, I mean, at least I don't really drive. I drive to the grocery store and I drive up north, like for vacations and stuff. You know, even when I was working for the city, you know, like why wouldn't I just at that point, why wouldn't I just go ahead and take the bus and not deal with parking? Because the city, at least the city of Madison, is not going to give you parking as a regular employee. If you're the mayor, sure, you're going to get some parking. You're a random planner. Get out of here with that. You're going to pay a whole bunch. $13 a day. Not as bad as it was in Denver or LA when I was there. But yeah, not good. What is this? The angle's just a little bit off, I think. That's frustrating. I might need to go back to the drawing board here. I can't make... Or maybe we'll have to have just our own sweeping movement right here. Yeah. I've kind of just been, I haven't really told you guys what I've been doing with this, but I'm basically trying to sweep this through this neighborhood and then to our core here. And it's amazing how much different the French assets look. They look kind of ridiculous next to these hyper American assets. It makes me want to, I mean, at a minimum, we can't change the colors of these. I wonder if I just lighten up some of these buildings to try to make them blend a little bit better. Because they look kind of silly. Kind of silly. Little Paris. Yeah, I think it looks... Listen, I'm an American, but I will admit that this looks nicer. It's just the French Quarter then? Exactly. Oh, that exactly. You know what? I bet you that the French have some influence on this area. Planner, you need some help. How can you build, for example, a roundabout in downtown, EU style? Tight. You want to have a roundabout with a plaza and buildings around it? You need find it and move it. Like you just like what find it, move it, and plop the growables. Like it is possible to make a nice looking European build just by zoning, but you end up with a grid like this right here. Totally doable if you are meticulous about your planning. If you only use vanilla roads, like reasonably, just as an example, if I wanted to make a really nice French block, you can do it, but you can't, like, you're like roundabouts, like you're mentioning, like not happening. Like it has to be, I'd have to do something like this. And then either straight medium density, whoops, screwed that up. Straight medium density, and even this didn't work because now I get a full depth building. And so if you really want to make a good European city, one that feels natural and organic, I think you have to have plop the growables, and you have to be willing to move your buildings around manually. I mean, that's like this block right here. I haven't done one of these yet, but for this block, I moved every single building by hand. I added some street cafes. I added some, some details. I am not a detailer, but to make a European city, I feel like you have to become one. And every building is slightly rotated to be able to make them fit and not complain around the block. And I forgot to remove the trees. Man, the one thing I don't like about this map, I like all of the trees sunken into the ground, I think is like the only thing I don't like. The longer I play on this map, the more I dislike it. that part of it. Good thing you love grid cities. If you love grid cities, you're going to love this, the European assets. But yeah, let's come back over and look at this real quick. Lovely smog. But look, like that looks really good. But the moment you add a roundabout to this, you don't have a corner piece. So if you're going to do that, what I would do is probably not have zoning there and make some sort of a custom plaza. And then ultimately try to find a different building to fit here that's going to give you a nice solid wall, because this one didn't do it. But yeah, I have no other advice than that. That is where my head would go anyway. That is where I would go. Grid it up and be willing to be willing to have some imperfection. It's the best you can do. Out in the West, you're never going to get around cars for the vast majority of people. If you don't like them, then move back east. I mean, I lived out West. Here's the funny thing about the West. I think that the West is super easy to retrofit with other types of transportation based upon how gridded it is, based on Jeffersonian grid. So I think it's probably easier to fix out West, but I do agree, Doc, that the car culture out there, I mean, when I was out there, I felt it. Like, everyone wants a car. It's very much the culture. It's tough. But also, I'd say out West, environmentalism is probably more prominent than other parts of the US. So it's the place I think it would be, it's a very conflicted place. Very conflicted place. Car culture out West is huge, but there's still room for urban transit. Completely agree. Completely agree. And here's the thing. Car culture is only great until you can't afford a place to live. And ultimately that's where a lot of places out West are right now, is that it's just super expensive. And if you said, I think if you asked people, would you rather have an affordable place to live, and you can't have a car, but you have a way to get around that is efficient, will get you there on time, stress-free. There's a certain subset of the population that I think would take that. And I don't think that's not just a hypothesis. Look into cul-de-sac Arizona. Like, that place sold out immediately. And that was, they're trying to emulate a European feel. I don't know how good it's actually doing, but I think that a lot of people still like it as a concept. They're adding a sound transit. Are you talking about Seattle? It's crazy to think like this. It's a great shirt. Thank you so much. It's the Kohl's special. Your partner is a car guy, but he has a long commute and would love if he could take transit for his daily commute so he could read or play games or something. I think that there's room for both. I think you can be I'm going to probably disappoint some of you guys and just say that, like, I don't have a problem with car people. I don't it's fine. We all have our own hobbies. And if you want to be a driver, okay. As long as the road can be accommodated for a variety of users. I guess I have no problem with it. But I do think that even car people can appreciate a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra convenience. I think that people just need to be reasonable. As someone who cannot drive, never have, with what is affordable housing, car culture trade-off? What is the affordable housing car culture trade-off? It's a big trade-off. I mean, so this parking lot right here, let's just say that this parking lot was attached to an apartment building. It's a surface lot. Let's just say that this is $10,000 per stall. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 23 stalls. So you're adding basically $250,000 onto the cost of the building, just to have these parking stalls. And if you think that this is enough for an apartment building, you're probably wrong. So when you start to think of it like that, and let's say you have never been able to drive a car, but you have to pay for that stall anyway. Even if your apartment doesn't come with the parking, you're still partially subsidizing it because it's just the cost of the building. It's a big thing. It's a legitimate concern. So yeah, I hear your pain there. People often don't think about that part of it, that you are paying for parking. There's no parking is actually free. There's no free parking. The motorcycle hogging the parking spot. Well, here's the thing. That's the city's fault. I never provided any motorcycle parking. I mean, I am so wrong that I force everyone to walk through a maze to get to the gardens, and there are a total of 5 trees at the gardens. It's laughable. It's ridiculous. How do people get to the maze? I use an invisible path. And even though we've added these roads, people are still trapped in our maze. So we're doing something right. We could even take it to the next level. Enjoy yourselves, folks. The maze is going to be fun for you. America's plan to make you waste your time and money any way possible? Well, I disagree with that. And also, I'm going to tell you to tone it down in the politics, man. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. First time seeing me live. This is cool. You logged a lot of CPP videos. Andrew, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I'm not murdering my Sims. Here's the thing. I live in a place that looks like this sometimes. So I deal with snow. It's fine. Here's the thing about snow. Okay, just in general. It's currently 44 degrees outside. I love it. I can throw on layers. I'm too warm right now. Watch this, chat. Watch this. I'm gonna open up the window behind you guys, and I'm gonna be comfortable again. One second. I love living in a place that gets cold. It's wonderful. Wonderful. I love it. Wintertime Phyllis Peak Phil, man. So if you've never lived in a cold climate, wintertime is when you can get away with playing video games and not get yelled at. Like as a kid, it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Go out and sit in a snowbank, or am I gonna play Mario? Like, clearly, I'm gonna go play Mario. Like this is the time. This is my time to shine. Did I also get some snow yesterday, like Minnesota? No, we just had cold. We just had bitterly cold. Bitterly cold. Kumplomas, thank you for the biddies. While I agree with that, it does bring up some concerns about providing a car rental as a bonus to renting an apartment. May also help people get locked into their lease since they don't need a car to be there as opposed to buying a house later. So this is about the apartment in Madison that has the rental, the rental that comes with the Teslas. I hear you, but also like we have like Zipcar. So like reasonably, someone could take a Zipcar and get a rental to that. So Zipcar's car sharing service. So it's not as if that's the only option. And all these other apartments could have offered that as a similar comparable solution. Partnered with Zipcar to have them leave a car in front of their rental. In Denver, when I was there, that was like on the street that I lived on, a lot of people had access to a Zipcar, and that was how they got around. Guys, is East really cheaper than West? You mean housing and living? I have not lived out East, but I don't think so. I think if you want cheap housing, the Midwest and the South are probably the cheapest places. But, you know, with any place, there's a reason why things are expensive. And, you know, there are trade-offs. I mean, as much as I think the housing is ridiculous in the Bay Area, the main reason it was so expensive for a long time was that there were just a lot of jobs, you know? So you can live in a super cheap place and not have any place to work. You know, like that's a problem. Such a vague question. It really is. That's a super vague question. Also, you know, like the US is huge, monstrously huge. So very difficult to make sweeping generalizations about cost. I live in a very expensive part of a relatively cheap state. And that's because it's urban. You know, tough. It's tough to make that sweeping generalization. It's like that anywhere too, anywhere. Prices depend on three things: location, location, location. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, in my city, depending on where you are, the prices can be dramatically different. These buildings are just so fun to use. I'm sorry. I don't like doing this normally, but to be able to make this building with a courtyard in the middle and to just like jam these together, I think it's so much fun. Like, it's so chill. I could just do this all day. Love the New Orleans vibe there. I super enjoy it myself too. I like, to the folks who made this, just like awesome. And also I get why Colossal Order has never wanted to allow people to have this level of freedom, because it can break the game. Let us do it because it's fun. Like it's fun. I just want to be able to play the game I want to, the way I want to be able to play it. Anno 1800 engineers be like, they're like, no, in Anno. Wouldn't be like this in Anno. Although it does have that Anno vibe. I saw that a lot in the comments, that people were saying like the French pack feels very Anno in the way that you're able to construct the blocks. Mega Champas they fill? What is that? I need it. Champas de what? Champas de France. I need to know what this is. Is this what you're talking about? Ah, I'm an idiot. It's the green space in front of the Eiffel Tower. Ah, you know what? You know what? What do we put right there? Gets a little bit industrial, but maybe we put something like that right there. A big avenue. A big avenue. It's funny, we have no big avenues right now. I wonder if we could take this road and turn it right in and terminate it right at. There's no need for the capacity right now. But that doesn't mean it wouldn't be interesting. I think we'll reserve this. We'll do something like this, and then maybe I kind of want to square it up. So like center on the little bulbs right here. I'm just spitballing. I enjoy just thinking about roadway layouts, so bear with me for a second, chat. I wonder if we couldn't have a one-way couplet right here. So like, and it terminates right here, and then maybe this road right here before we do something more with it becomes a major thoroughfare. And then this divides into one ways as well. I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea. We'll go a little wild. That's what's fun about a stream. We can just experiment. We don't need to live 100% in reality and think of why things are. Oh no. I've got to call some eminent domain on this block that I made that I really enjoy. But it has to happen. Paris, a tourist city. Are you planning to add a tourist destination? We got one big one. I mean, that's this. We probably will add more down the line. The thing is, I do wonder on this map, the longevity of it with all the trees. It was brought up in the last stream that because of all of the trees, there could be some issues on this one. So we'll see. I have a narrower four-lane road, so I'm going to try to sneak this one in here. And then hopefully I don't have to completely demolish this block. Let me see. I'm going to change the... Okay, yeah, I think I could scoot that road over and make it work. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but I think it's probably acceptable. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it's not, is it, chat? It looks terrible, doesn't it? Won't matter as much as when you get custom assets. There'll be workarounds. You're nervous about future-proofing? Infrastructure cramped between old buildings. How European? Yeah, but if you're France, you just completely start over. Please add trees along the road. I will. I added some right here. And I added planter boxes. You can see that it's not straight. There. Perfect. So yeah, I will add some. I'm going to do it completely custom though. I think we're going to live with that little bit of ugliness right there. And I'm just going to bump these buildings back a little bit. The ugliness I'm talking about is that turn arrow. I don't know that I can do it, guys. I don't know that I can do it. Do I have another? Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna see if I can make a narrower version of this. Ah, boy. 3.5. Like, the problem is, look at that. As I make it narrower, that turn lane is like square on the sidewalk. Oh, wait. Oh my goodness. I'm an idiot, guys. I'm an idiot. That's actually a surface. That surface overlaps and the surface is on this. Oh, shoot. Well, cool. I made an extra road for no reason. I'm going to try to get rid of that. Redker, thank you so much for the 6 months of Prime. Appreciate you. Wildworm, thank you so much for 7 months, Mr. Wildworm. Soy Fabulous, thank you for the Prime. Clint Kev, thank you so much for the tier 1. Sono Frobert, thank you so much for the tier 1. Can I use the new modular roads to reserve space finally? Yes. Yes. So I've done that. So like this 2-lane road with a median, I created this one specifically to reserve space. You can make wide medians and things like that, and you can turn off some of the controls. Honestly, I like the way that looks, but I want the capacity because we're overbuilding. There we go. No left side driving, Porque. Because I don't know how Biffa and Egg are able to play and not have the driving be the same as on their as what they see in the real world. It would drive me up a wall. I get it. Like I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm a baby. Almost a full year of streams. I know. Vic, thank you for being here, buddy. Vic, if you don't know who Vic is a moderator here and on the Discord. Time's flown. And I've really enjoyed streaming. I really appreciated really appreciate that you guys all continually show up for these things. I've very much enjoyed it. It always takes time to get used to driving on the wrong side in games like Sleeping Dogs and Forza. I can only imagine. Like so that's the thing. If I were forced to do it, I would do it. But if I'm not being forced to do it, like in Forza, like what choice do you really have? You don't really have one. If you want to play Forza, you're going to drive on that side of the road. So yeah, that's where I struggle. Okay, this is going to get hairy, but I'm trying to work around those buildings, and I think that is probably my best course of action. And honestly, I kind of dig it. It feels like we had to retrofit this all in here, and that makes it feel historic to me. Yeah, I dig that a lot. That's super cool. Happy Friday, Turbo. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for being here. Organic? Feels very organic. Doc, I dig it. I dig it. So I think I'm going to divide it. Maybe not. I'm torn. Maybe you guys help me. I was going to divide this up and have some one-ways. The problem is they split and they don't go in the same spot. We'd have to basically stop it right here. Do I just leave it right there and call it a day? Maybe I could do a one-way here and here. I don't really know. Have I addressed the traffic mod malware situation? Yeah, one up. We talked about that to begin the stream. There's an update on Reddit. Definitely a crappy situation. Definitely a crappy situation. Going back to that for just a moment, I think the worst thing about it is I feel like Colossal Order and Paradox just really needed a big W. And this week was the big W. And talk about snatching an L from a W. Like that's huge. It definitely sucks. But Turbo, I agree. I hope that the German and the UK packs bring people back. I hope that people understand that this, I think that this would have happened if all the mods were on Steam. I think that this could have also happened to any game that's using mods. It really sucks. You said improve how snow cover works. So I brought this up when I had my conversation with Colossal Order, and it bugs them too. Why they're not fixing it, I have no idea. There must be something that's preventing it. But I remember at one point it wasn't on the trees either. And then it got better, but the surfaces are still the one thing that's not covered. I mean, I also think that, like, if you have snow and it shows up like this, why isn't it accumulating? Like, it's accumulating on some things. Like, this vehicle has snow on it, but, like, why is it always like an inch or a centimeter? You know, like, yeah. Another ad on YouTube. I don't know what's going on YouTube. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. I forgot to tag your comment on this, but do I have a link to the mods I use? Also love my videos. I do. Go to cityplannerplays.com. At the top, there's a link to all my mods. I need to update it. It's basically the same, but cityplannerplays.com. It should be in the video description as well, or the stream description. My mod list is on there with links to Paradox mods. Everything's up there. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate you, Anthony. Boiled egg roll. Thank you for the prime. Dragum. Thank you so much for the tier 1. Thank you. If some buildings with anarchy collide with each other, one gets into a little bit, would it change their functionality? Would it damage it? No. That's the reason why I've been able to do all of this, is the buildings are still working just fine. You could, and this is actually a strategy that I've used, is I've hidden, and I used this actually in the last Magnolia County video. I wanted to make those prop barns feel like people would actually go into them. So I slid a small 2-unit by 2-unit commercial building inside of the barn, and then you'd have buildings that actually appear to be functional. So no, you can get away with a lot, but you have to have why am I blanking? I'm gonna try to bring up Skyve. Plop the growables. You have to have plop the growables. As long as you have that, you're fine. The streets to the right of the water tower. Make the streets to the right of the water tower curve into the street. Okay. So you're saying that this street should curve this way? So I would think, if anything, it should be that it actually splits and curves this way to go past the train station. And I could kind of get behind that idea. So that we have our split here. This continues to head this way, and then it loops. Yeah, I kind of like that. If some of the buildings, I'm behind up there. They need to dial back the snow a little bit, in your opinion? I agree. Is the news about traffic mod real? It is, unfortunately. I can't remember exactly what mod it was on CS1, but there was it's not the first time there has been potentially nefarious code injected into a mod. This way is different for sure. I mean, the fact that someone's account got compromised is what it sounds like, and the result of that is that someone gained access and was able to upload a mod. That's different. The last time it happened, I want to say that the situation was basically someone was upset and uploaded malicious code, which is a much different scenario. But yeah. Been watching this channel for a few years now, and your favorite series so far was when I made Over the City I Abandoned 2,000 days ago. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I have thought about, Infrastructurist, for instance, has been cranking away at Riverview since the early access period. which I think is absolute madness, and it's amazing. But I basically took Mounds View and just threw it in the garbage. And that is my first city. So I could reasonably grab that save and revive it. And I've thought about that a lot. Just like bringing it back and seeing, post economy 2.0, post everything. Like, what does it look like? Could we make it look reasonable? Yeah. You're planning a computer build around CS2? What should you base it on, the CPU or the GPU? Planksta. Oh, well. It's tough because if you don't have a good, if your GPU's weak, you will be GPU bound. But once you have a decent GPU, you will immediately get CPU bound. So I think you need to find a good pairing. I mean, that's ultimately, it's with any computer build. You need to find an appropriate pairing, a CPU and GPU pairing. And I think if you're building a machine specifically for CS2, that is especially true. Especially, it's not like, I don't think it's like CS1 where it was really, really important to give me just 1 second. Really, really important to have a bunch of RAM or something like that. I don't think that the game is similar in that way. I'll clean that up later. I have an extra road in there. I wanted to get rid of it, but I'm gonna screw something up. Do you think we're gonna see a traffic AI update this year? Do you think improved traffic AI would bring more players back? Also, a road composer like the Road Builder mod. I mean, let's be super real about how much time is left this year. So it's November 1st right now. The last half of December, they're going to be on vacation. I think what we are going to see the rest of this year is region packs and work on the editor. I think that they have heard from people loud and clear that that's what people care about. And I think if they're prioritizing their time, it's probably the editor. The other thing I would venture to guess is that they're focusing a lot of their time on getting console ready. Like they have not forgotten about it. Like when I was in Finland, I got the distinct possibility, or the distinct feeling that it was continually on their mind. So I think, yeah, I wouldn't bank on that, I guess. For better or for worse, yeah. I think if we see any traffic AI updates, it's a ways down the line. I mean, that's like Poplar, hopefully you don't mind me divulging some of our conversation. But updates to the map editor, like having gone in there yesterday and spent a good portion of the day working on the map editor, like, first of all, shout out to Ancient Swan. First of all, for the hilarious map editor video, and secondly, because I couldn't remember what I was doing and walking through the video was really helpful. Ancient Swan was talking about some of the limitations of the editor in his video, and I felt it, but I still don't think that's being updated anytime soon. I think that assets are number one. There are a lot of as many people as want the roads, the traffic AI fixed. Many more just care about painting a city and want assets. So, and I am not on that. I have been vocally not in that camp, but I get why people are. Both. I'm in the both camp too. To me, I always played. I like City Skylines for the simulation aspect of it, and I thought that it was pretty shallow, in part in CS1, and when they brought up all of the proposed improvements in CS2, I got real jacked, and it's not quite there. I think we can all be honest with ourselves. Not quite up to snuff in terms of that. So yeah. They took our money from CS2 and now they're having more breaks than actually doing work and fixing things. I don't agree with that. So my opinion, or what I gather, my feeling is that they took on more than they should have. And I think that we've all been there at some point in time where you take on more than you should have. At that point, though, and the part that I don't really understand is at that point, you kind of just have to recalibrate, reset expectations, or you find more resources and you figure it out. It kind of seems like none of those have been the option. That's the part I don't really understand. If it were me, if I were the czar of Colossal Order, I would have either said, if we don't hire more people, no one's going to buy the game. So we need to hire more people quickly and get them on board, like experts, not like randos, but like people who are experts in these specific areas of Unity. But who knows? I'm not a Unity expert, you know. They get breaks every month. Aurora, I'm going to assume that you're an American like I am, and I will say that Americans, our work culture is toxic. I'm not going to begrudge a European country for not allowing employers to work their employees into the ground. Like, a lot of these breaks are mandated by Finland. So like, I think that is wonderful that their employees are not destroyed by work. You know, like, a whole month break is crazy. Is it though? I mean, is it crazy? Or do people need to recharge? I mean, like, is it crazy that there are some people who work 60, 70 hours a week? Is that crazy? Like I disagree. Like, I fundamentally disagree with that. I think that there's a lot of things you could be upset about, but I don't think that their work culture is one of them. Like that one. I wish that the U.S. was more like that, but it's also never going to happen here. It's also why the U.S. is super productive. We'll just work people into the ground. When will we get bicycles? Man, they've heard. It still shocks me that bikes didn't come with the base game. I hope I hope that it just gets added. Hope it just gets added. Feels like the game starts to be like it should have been at release day. Would be nice to have some DLC now. Completely. So they said a lot of the DLCs, Q1 desperately needs it. I mean, man, if we get legit key walls, like, that's what I like. Probably the one thing, like, I didn't really care about them in CS1 initially, and now I just miss them all the time. I want legit key walls. I want drawbridges. I want to be able to build a proper city on the water. You know, so a DLC for sure. Editor needs fixing. Current bugs could impact the release of new maps for upcoming region packs. Completely agree, Poplar Ponderosa. The map that I showed you guys earlier was absolutely painful. I crashed so many times. I was actually telling Poplar about it, like, crashed again. So like, it's bad. You had a 2080 Ti hybrid and ran CS2 absolutely fine. It died, and that's when you upgraded. Yeah, I think maybe the big question is, do you want DLSS? If you do, if I'm not mistaken, the 10 series cards aren't going to be good enough for that. You're going to want a 20 or better. So do they get paid for the whole month off? I would assume so. I would assume that it's vacation time. But again, like, why would I be upset that people are mandated to have to have a break? Like, just like reasonably. We're just being reasonable people. Don't you want a break from work? You know, like, I don't know. Let them have their break. I do think the one place I will strongly agree with you is I've said this. I think that the cadence of updates has been bad. I think that their communication has been pretty atrocious. Like, and it's kind of amazing to me. Like, from a marketing standpoint, like, they went ham on the marketing and had basically an amazing marketing campaign for a game that was not ready. You know, like, there were lots of situations like that. But like, I'm not going to get upset and say, well, they don't deserve a break now. You know, like, their employees who had no say in any of this should be burned out just because I want my game to be right. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's a game. Like, I want it to be good. I love the game. I want to see it do well. I want new content because I want to keep playing it. But also, like, these are real people who are doing their job and have no say in half of these things. So I'm going to not wish them to get burnt out. So, yeah. Do they get paid lunch breaks too? Pathetic. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing, like, the summer break, I think, has as much to do about the weather of the region as anything else, you know, like, and historical traditions there. Like, if you lived in a place where it was cold and dreary and black outside for a long period of time, then perpetual sunlight for a while, like, you would probably want to take your 1 month of perfect weather and enjoy it. You know, like, you can't get CS2 to work now for 3 months. Well, Bernard Budge, this was as good a time as any not to have it work. But what I would say is, you probably have maybe GUI, however you pronounce it, on your system. That's one issue. Validate your system files. That's probably the first place to start. The second place would be, if you have Skive, clone your playset. JD Bizzle, good to see you in here, buddy. Hey, man, just wanted to stop by and say hi. Hope you had a good Halloween with the kiddos last night. It was great. Absolutely wonderful. Except it was cold. Very cold. But besides that, cute kids, lots of fun. Yes, temporary map in the game, you feel their pain. Yeah. Maybe that was their way of explaining why they get time off. You play it, like, I remember the first time I played on some of the Boreal maps, it's like, why do they give us so many of these maps? They're so frustrating. Like, I don't want to build on a map like this. I want a map that's fun. And this is worse than home. Can I demonstrate the easiest way to do overpass bridges with nice key walls? Jay. Yes. I've already done it, though. The first 2 minutes into the most recent Magnolia County. It's all through the new Anarchy. I don't really have one to make right now. But the way that you do it is with the new Anarchy. It's super easy. Check it out. Check it out. What's wrong with GUI? GUI has not been supported for a long time. And it can cause mod conflicts and game conflicts that cause your game not to work. And unfortunately, there's not a great way to remove it. Short of you going in and actually finding it and removing it yourself. So it served its purpose at the time, but it is gone. That purpose is gone. And just having it in your files can cause issues. I think if you go to the Cities 2 modding Discord, it is like the one thing that they talk about all the time and that I think has caused the most frustration for the modders. Before this week, anyway. Obviously, this week is different. 28 people working, not a big company. No, it's not. I mean, when I was sitting in their offices, I like definitely felt like not a big company. I think it should probably be a bigger company, reasonably. Also, not my call. If it were me, they would have more people. Hello from Italy. Well, hello. Hopefully everything's going well in Italy. Bigger's not always better. Doc, that's a good point. So I was kind of trying to get there a little bit earlier when I said I don't really know what goes into developing this sort of a game. Because like the idea of like hire some more people, get a bunch of people on board, make it happen, go faster. Like more people might mean more complication, more levels of bureaucracy and confusion. Communications issues. It can mean lots of things that aren't always what they seem. Adorn, thank you for being here. Labor costs are pretty high. That's another good point. Then again, so this is kind of what I was getting at, like with the whole push and the pull of like having enough staff. Like labor costs are high. Hard to if you're not selling DLCs, like, and I thought a lot about this, like, so yes, they sold a bunch of games, but then they've sold probably nothing. And like, it's gotta be real tough to pay your employees if you aren't making any money, or not very much money, and certainly less than you expected to make. That should be motivation to make the updates, but also I think you end up in a there could be a philosophical rub there. Like, do you hire so you make money faster because you can release DLCs, or do you be conservative and not hire a bunch because you want to make sure that you are solvent right now? I'm not a business owner like that, so like I don't know how you would handle that. They have no real competitors either for now. Man, if I were a company that had ever considered making a city builder, and I saw the launch, I'm probably licking my chops going, oh my goodness. It's the same thing that happened with Colossal Order. I mean, it's SimCity 2013, terrific launch, and it opens up that opportunity for someone to come in with something new, different. You love the game, but you catch yourself starting a new map almost every couple days because you don't feel the map you're playing on. The lack of the Steam Workshop is noticeable, which is a shame. Well, okay. So the lack of assets, the lack of the Steam Workshop. I mean, okay, the Steam Workshop is just a platform. And this is the part that I think that is kind of, I found to be interesting, is a lot of people are like, the Steam Workshop wasn't that great. I never thought it was that great, personally. There were many times where mods wouldn't update and I couldn't figure out why, and I'm finagling around with the game. I feel like a lot of people are like, the Steam Workshop is the magic solution. It's not. Like, it had lots of issues. Oh, there's a hype train going on, guys. Thank you, guys. I don't know what's going on. I missed a bunch of activity. Thank you, guys. Vic, thank you for the tier 1. Jayher, thank you so much for the prime. Anthony, thank you for the super chat once again. I am over. I am. You know what I mean. Thank you for the prime. Boiled egg roll, thank you for the prime. Dragum, thank you so much for the tier 1. The Hambodian, thank you so much for the prime. Hello. Daw, thank you so much for the prime. Truskin, thank you so much for the tier 1. Dracu, thank you for the prime. B. Lloyd, thank you for the prime. The Fletch, thank you for the prime. 9 months. Clinetic, thank you for the prime. Falstaff, thank you for the prime. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Truest hot take on the Steam library, or on Steam Workshop. Yeah, I think people want to pretend that the Steam Workshop was like this amazing thing that always worked all the time, and it just didn't. It didn't work all the time. And we'd have some of the same issues. Oh my gosh. Guys, we don't have any schools in this city. Not one. Oh my goodness. We've built the dumbest city ever in City Skylines. Nobody here gets an education, not a single soul. But at least the city is pretty. All homeschooling. Well, here's the thing. How are those parents going to even homeschool? Because they never went to school. Okay, I've got to fix that. I was thinking of adding a high school because I was like, Oh, like, I bet the high school would fit right here. No one's going to high school in this city. No one's going to elementary school. French schools time. Absolutely. That's a legit YouTube title. The city of dummies. I created the dumbest city ever in City Skylines. Pretty much. Listen, education is my new fire departments. Although, wait. Let's just for a quick second. What are we missing here? We have a hospital. We have death care. We can take care of our trash. We've got one fire station. Got some cops. We got to add a city hall. We don't have one of those. No schools. We have transit. So we got that going for us. You can get around. You can get arrested. You can't go to school. We've got the internet. So I guess you can go on the internet. That's where it is. Everyone here goes to school on YouTube. Twitch. This is a Bayport, Michigan map. Kids love this small town. You'll never guess why. Yes, everyone here goes to YouTube University, and the first class is Roblox. Second one's Minecraft. And the City Planner Plays channel is how they learn everything else. Sesame Street and Wikipedia. Virtual Online Academy are real, to be fair. That is true. So it is true, but not in this game. And our internet's slow, so that could be a sad thing for those that are attending the online university or the online high school. I am actually really curious about how the pandemic changed virtual learning. So I was one of the group of people. My kids, or my oldest, was in kindergarten at the start of the pandemic. So our first day of kindergarten was virtual school, and it was virtual till the last quarter. And I still vividly recall just like the kids yelling, "You're glitching, you're glitching," to their teachers, and like the teachers like struggling to get the kids to do things. You know, it was a mess. It was a mess. They learned from ChatGPT. Don't even know how to spell anymore. ChatGPT writes my essays. It's perfect. It hit during your last year of university. It was wonderful, to be honest. Well, as someone, you might not realize this because of what I do. Oh shoot, those are wrong. I'm an introvert, so I felt like I did the wrong one again. I felt like during the pandemic, like when I was forced to work from home, it was like my time to thrive. Like I was like living the. Hold on, the song got intense there for a second. Yeah, it was I was fine, but I felt really bad for the kids. Like, how do you go to kindergarten and not meet anybody? It's a tough one. McFuddlebot, thank you so much for the tier 1. No boy, thank you so much for the prime. Masiago, thank you so much for the prime as well. Almost time to watch our Twitch, baby. McFuddlebot. 6 months into a PhD program, lab-based project. It was not great. Oh, Carrie, I can only imagine. Like, oh my goodness. I think I must have gone with EU mixed there as well. That doesn't look right. They lowered the requirements, moved towards practical work instead of the exams, and we're flexible with the exams and delivery dates. Missed a lot of missed a tranquil house to be into. Your career took off during the pandemic, Gary, because you didn't have to go to the office. You could just be head down coding. So I feel like if you have that certain kind of job like that, that would be like your time to thrive. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for the pandemic. for sure. Like, it was all my wife going back to grad school and me having a lot of free time. But yeah, even for work, like, I guess I've always had to write a lot for work, and I appreciated the quiet time to write. So yeah, I guess it either really works for you or it really doesn't. Kindergarten's a tough one. Worked at an online school and helped a lot of high schoolers get better grades, but there's selection bias there. That's true. I guess if you're going into it and your game plan is online school, that's a different situation than being forced into it. Very, very different situation. I gotta wonder though, like if that was you and you're like forced into this situation, do you feel? Are you thinking everyone should toughen up, or like how what's your reaction to that during the pandemic? Pandemic silver lining, we could CPP. I mean, I have greatly enjoyed doing this. I wouldn't keep doing it if I didn't enjoy it. So yeah, I'd say the pandemic was fine for me as well. I know a lot of people were not so lucky. Had a much worse time of it. So I do feel guilty about that. That is something I've felt personally. You were more productive and in better shape during the pandemic. You loved it. You got in better shape during the pandemic. So before the pandemic, I got really into counting my calories. I don't mean it like a problematic way either. I mean in like, I bought a scale, a food scale, and I just started to be really conscious about what I was putting into my body. And I realized that I very often just like was overeating. So I stopped, and I was at my lowest weight since I got married pre-pandemic. And then the pandemic hit, and it was just like go time. Like it was like virtual happy hours and like just like eating garbage. Stressed out that I was a teacher and a planner at the same time. So like, yeah, I very much, I just like started packing on the pounds. You love counting calories too? It's a game. How can you get how can you get 3,000? Oh, hitting 3,000, that one's an easy one. It's maintaining to like 2,200 that like, you're like impossible. You eat until you're 80% full. How do you do that? I think my biggest problem is that I eat too fast. My wife actually has commented about that. And one of my daughters she eats just like I do. I eat really fast. That's why you'll never catch me eating on stream. I don't want you guys to judge me. Not only that, like, do you guys really want to watch me eat? Probably not. Last night you made a whole bowl of couscous because you were hungry after the salad. So, but couscous is like, that's legit. When I lived in LA, I was super poor, like a level of poor that I didn't know I could experience. But one thing I could afford was chicken breast and couscous. And I ate chicken breast and couscous every single, like, so, I mean, priorities. I had to hang out with my friends, and my friends wanted to go out on the weekend. So I was going to save money to go out, and I was going to eat chicken and couscous for every meal. And that's another period where I lost a whole bunch of weight because all I could afford was the cheapest food I could get. And I couldn't, you can't overeat on couscous. And there's only so much chicken I wanted to prepare. So it was great. Couscous is basically pasta, which isn't a whole food. I mean, but you can only eat so much of it before you're just like ridiculously full. You definitely overate couscous last night. I will admit I've not had couscous in a long time. Maybe my memory is is fonder of it than it should be. And I have not although I've not had any of it because I think I ate a lifetime of couscous in like a year. Didn't I have a Mustang in LA? Gary, I did. That's one of the reasons why the Mach-E spoke to me. And it drives just like my Mustang did. It's one of the reasons I like it. Feels very similar. Felt like I was going back in time. The only difference is I don't have to sit in traffic. Why in the US everyone speaks about Whole Foods? We have a lot of processed foods. So I think it's on people's minds a lot. Like honestly, kind of a disgusting amount of processed foods, but also like they're really difficult to avoid. So I think people are really conscientious about Whole Foods as a result. Unless you're talking about the grocery store, in which case I don't know. I don't shop at Whole Foods. I think it's way too expensive. It's like the only major fresh grocery chain. You can get fresh groceries at other grocery chains. I think it's fine. It's also Amazon. So like yeah, Whole Foods is also a grocery store. That's probably what you were actually talking about. The Real Darklander, you're getting Dutch ads for some reason. It's because the city you're looking at looks we just need to add some canals. And then we're good to go. This isn't lining up correctly. It's gonna drive me crazy. This is 1 unit wide? Why is this off? Where am I screwing up? Or is it not 1 unit wide? No, it is. You guys see it, right? But like, it seems like I lost a unit somewhere. Maybe I just need to drag these ones out. Or, yeah, it'll be fine. It won't line up perfectly there. It'll be fine. I need to just chill. Move the school forward. I look Middle Eastern. I mean, I'm biracial. So I guess if you were to average out Germany, Poland / Africa, where you get would be the Middle East. So there we go. I'd average out North Africa, actually. Sure. So I'd average out Egypt. Morocco. One of your friends today was doing a semester at college abroad, and he lent this small, crappy apartment with nothing in it except for a small fridge and a small kitchen. He cooked pasta in an electric kettle. I mean, I busted my ankle in college, and I lived on a small microwave and a George Foreman grill for a while. I just have friends go get me food, and that was my life. The George Foreman grill. I feel like it's a rite of passage to have like improper cookware and bad food in college. You really missed having access to a stove when you moved out for college. I feel you there. We had one, but I felt like the guys I lived with, we were all gross. So I lived in a house with 5 other dudes. And like, I remember like we moved in and our house was nice. It was fine. We thought we'll move in one more guy. So we moved him into the living room and put a door in the living room. So it was like this house of bedrooms and a dining room and a kitchen. And someone didn't do the dishes once. And I swear no one ever did the dishes after that. Everyone took bins. They like bought new dishes and put them in plastic bins and put them in their bedrooms, and like just straight up were like, Screw you guys. This is how I'm doing it from now on. I'm not going in the kitchen. I think I washed my dishes in the bathroom most of the time. Yeah, we got real weird. Have I done a streetcar suburb build? A couple of them, yeah. Where I build the streetcar first in the metro lines. I've never done it that way. But I've done a build similar to that, but in reverse. Yeah, dish warfare. It's not not my finest moment. Not my finest moment. I definitely played right into it. I was not above it. The thing is, I still talk to those guys. We were just idiots. How can we not do dishes? Well, because, okay, so your buddy doesn't do his dishes. So, okay, he doesn't do his dishes. Why am I going to do his dishes? I'm 21 years old, 20 years old at the time. Do you think that I'm looking at my buddy who's also 20 and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to do your dishes? If I do his dishes one time, I'm doing his dishes every time. So because of that, once those dishes, I don't even know, it was a whole year. I don't know whose dishes those were, but they never moved. They never moved. And they wouldn't, like, at that point, like, when no one remembers who it belongs to, it's never gonna get done. You do your dishes while showering? That's amazing. Bin the dishes and do yours. I mean, I remember at one point someone put the dirty dishes on the stove and they stayed there for a long time. And that's how I wanted to get back to that. Like, the stove ended up being unusable for a while because of that. It was a mess. I do not miss having roommates at all. I don't miss being young and stupid either. You'd be concerned about bugs? I mean, we should have been. We were less concerned about bugs and more concerned about bats. We had bats in our house. So that was always our bigger issue. Bats. And we had multiple dogs living with us too. Another, like, what are you doing in college with a dog? Don't get a dog in college. Don't do that to yourself. But we had multiple dogs. Bats, yeah. What? So we lived in a house that was probably 120 years old. Not well kept. It really wasn't surprising that we had bats. I don't even know, like, we had them in our house and in our garage, because our garage had like a lofted upstairs that no one used for anything. So, like, of course it's gonna get bats living up there. It was a gross little house, and thankfully, after we lived there, the landlord just sold it, and someone converted this nice historic house into like a legitimate home for people who wanted to not live like filthy heathens like we were. Did I sleep with the bats? I had a room with a lock on it. Eventually, I was like, I came home one too many times and saw like a whole bunch of dudes chilling in my room playing fight nights, and I just got tired of it. I put a lock on my door. There was one roommate who did that immediately, put a lock on his door because people were just hanging out in his room, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. It's cool. And then that one too many times. So no bats, but a lock on my door. So it was kind of a hostile environment. Not gonna lie. But I've had lots of strange roommate stories. I had one roommate living in Wisconsin who didn't want to have heat on. He said 45 rather was good enough, as long as the pipes wouldn't burst. It was good. Did I ever just eat ramen for a month to make ends meet? I did. Probably my worst situation with that wasn't ramen. It was actually pancakes. When I first moved out, I was 18. I was living by myself, with a roommate, and I had no money. I was working at a grocery store and at Office Max, and I should not have been living by myself, but I really wanted to. And a box of pancakes at Walmart was 41 cents. And I was like, I could live on that. I could live on that. So I made pancakes for every single meal, not with syrup, dry pancakes. 45 Fahrenheit, 45 Fahrenheit. So just above freezing, so the pipes wouldn't burst for that roommate. But this one, I just, that's what I lived on. I paid for all the bills I had, but yeah. So like, I don't really eat a lot of pancakes now as a result of that. Yeah, brutal. Ramen and ketchup. So ramen and American cheese. That was like another official college staple. Hello from Sweden. Hello. Thanks for being here. Pancakes with Nutella's good. I'm sure it's lovely. The only time I'll eat pancakes is if we go out. There's a place in the Dells, like Mr. Pancake, and they give you pancakes with your meal. And when we had a pancake house, which I think they have in Portland, we used to have one that I used to go to in Madison. There's still one left, but it's a little bit too far from where I'd like to go. So I used to go there, and I'd get pancakes as the side, and I'd have a couple bites, but I can't really do it anymore. Can't really do it. Pancrepes, the crepe kind, Nutella, sliced bananas, so good. I mean, crepes are good. I'll still do crepes. You went to culinary college, Harbor Master J? First of all, good to see you in here. And you would be so ashamed. Although I like cooking now a lot. Like I really like cooking. But you would have absolutely hated what I ate in college. This episode explains the lack of pancakes and couscous wholesalers in your cities. Yes. Oh, I grabbed a whole bunch. Sully had a new texture grass asset pack, and I downloaded them. I wonder how they look. Oh, that's nice. That is pleasant. I've got to get rid of all the textures this comes with, though. That's nice. Cool. Couscous is goated. I agree. Yeah, stripes. So okay. Oh, Sully to the rescue. Oh my goodness. We didn't finish this over here. I wonder. I've got to do it. We're going to add some really, really nice grass detailing. Harbor Master J, how are you doing today? If you guys don't know Harbor Master J, you should. Brilliant with this game. Steel airship. Farm field surfaces should be a thing in vanilla so you can paint farms without needing fertility. I want a surface. So yes, I agree. But also, like, I kind of just want the surfaces to be different. I want to be able to paint them in. I know there's the mod. I haven't tried it yet. But I want to be able to define a boundary and just like, boop, it paints in. That's cool. That's cool. That does look well manicured now. Oh, look at that. It changes depending on the angle that you look at it. Super cool. Super cool. I would love to be able to take a surface too. Like, I've added this surface here. Why can't I just take this polygon and like, I want to see what this one looks like. This one with the rounded deals. Like, I don't know what this looks like. I want to be able to just replace it. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, even this, like, I think I did. It's too much for this area. Too busy. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we could get away with the stripes, but the circles and this stuff. If we're gonna do that, it has to be a very specific small area. The height of realism, very Alice in Wonderland. Well, so I do think, like, inside of here, like, why not? Like, you could get, like, the only problem here is that, like, it goes into our maze, but, like, having some sort of intricate pattern in an area like this, like, fine. That's okay. Hurt your eyes. Heart goes out to the people mowing the grass. I completely agree. I think what I am going to do, though, I do like the, that we have these different, like, striped variants. And that seems a lot more reasonable to me. So I think we'll put some of those through here. And that's nice. That looks nice and manicured. That's good. Is there a diamond crossing pattern? No. No one's in the maze anymore. Oh my goodness, you're right. Oh. We ruined it, guys. Solution? I've got one. Enjoy your inability to walk in. You're the last one. Or not, they just keep going. Oh. Also, that was super risky to do before saving. Without saving. Bummer. I thought I could get away with one there. Okay, I will come up with a solution for this. Oh, shoot, that's a car path. Oh, no, guys. I'm going to make all sorts of invisible path mistakes. Okay. The real solution? Enjoy your terrible walk. Now you'll come back through here. Maybe. What have I done so far today? We built a few blocks of Parisian-looking buildings. We also added in trams, and they kind of just loop around. And then we added our first elementary school because apparently we aren't doing that. What's the blob of empty space behind the garden building? We were going to plant some trees or something back here. Never got around to it. At the end of the last stream, it was really stressful. It was really stressful, truthfully, because like we were breaking things constantly, trying to figure out how to make this work without crashing. So ultimately, that's why it looks the way that it does. But I'll add a little bit here. Leave it alone for now. Is the city getting smart? I wouldn't say that the city's getting smart. I would say that the city's getting less stupid. We have one elementary school, and it has a lot of capacity. So if your goal is to become elementary educated, we now have you covered. I should have done something different than this. I think I should have gone with a potter. We're gonna just a potted plant would have been nicer. We're gonna just not worry about it. It'll be fine. We'll slowly work on this. Education is a hoax in the city. I think you're right about that. We're not educating anyone here. Although one of these blocks could be the high school. So I might just toss one in. Oh, and that gets us to Great Town. So we're one milestone away from having our offices. Oh, and we got... Ooh, you guys are wondering about tourism? This building supercharges tourism in your city, so we're definitely going to add that. High density businesses, but not There is no commercial in the French pack, so it's not, that doesn't help us with these. You forgot the bread. Gotta go back to the grocery store. The Darklander. That is the worst. I wanted this to line up kind of diagonal, but it's too far away. And I got to get rid of those trees. I see them too. Just a 5-minute walk. I think that almost makes it worse. I'm in kind of the same boat. And I don't know about you, Darklander, but I end up going to the grocery store all the time because it's so close, which is both good and bad. It means you're eating a lot of fresh food, but it also means that you're going to the grocery store all the time. Okay, got rid of some of the trees that are poking up. If you're playing on this map, you gotta constantly do that. Don't like the way that this is sitting right now. It doesn't fit. I think I might just spin it around and make it work here. Even if that means we got to bump this road out to meander around the building. Can't believe it. People are still walking that long route too. Completely destroyed it. Huge bummer. You really don't mind? You're a better person than me. Okay. I'm just going to bring it back. There we go. I've killed all the walking. Will I be able to ban pedestrians a la TMPE? Not yet. I hope so at some point. As I get it, like it's pretty not realistic. And you can, I mean, this road, I wish, you know what, I could probably make this look better actually. I mean, we had the surface overlap thing happen over here. And I think if I would have used wherever it was, somewhere over here, if I were to take that same concept and overlap the gravel with the correct surface, I'm not 100% sure which one it was. I think it was one of the custom surfaces. Maybe I'll see if it's this one. If I overlap it, maybe it won't look so weird. It's not that one. This one. Let's see. Does this cover it up? It does. So, okay. I could create a lower speed variant and then cover up little segments so it doesn't look crazy and have zoning on it. And like, yeah, like you can tell it's not the same. But at least then when we have our little cheese segment, doesn't look terrible. This chain of grocery stores makes bread in the store, so it's nice and fresh. And 20 point, I guess, is that, what is it, cents euro? That's very inexpensive. I would take that. You have build a giant city center with a huge park. It is cents. Okay, good. I think in the next one that will be our goal. I don't think that we're gonna get to that. I think that this area right here is gonna be a large park, but I don't think we get there today. And I still need to figure out how we prevent. We want this maze to work still, and now it does again. I need to figure out a way to isolate this building to keep the maze working, because it's too cool to not have the maze working. Yerk Nomad, thanks for being here. So many Dutch ads for you. Well, I'm sorry. It looks like there is a Twitch ad break. Guyball, thank you for the Prime. Knock Knight, thank you so much for the Prime as well. So here's what I think I want to accomplish before we do a little bit of GeoGuessr, because I do think, knowing that we're going to stream on Tuesday again, we'll have this be a little bit shorter than normal. We'll play 2 rounds of GeoGuessr. I'm going to finish up this area right here. I want this to feel complete. And then I've got to figure out the situation with the walking here. I don't know how I do it yet, but that's going to be my goal. If I can figure that out, prevent all the walking, I'll be satisfied. Put another big tourist draw. You know, we actually do have a couple of these signature French buildings. I don't know what I want to do over here yet, short of the park. So maybe not. I'll include them over here. And then this one is a centerpiece. So maybe we'll use this in this block over here. Maybe kind of lining this area. Like you come forward and it's in the center. So you look down the street and the signature building's right down there. I like that vibe. The only thing that's really not French about this is the streets are too narrow. There's like that's like a pillar of this community is we use narrow streets, which is strange for here. Music hall would go great down the maze. Let's take a look at that. Man, this thing is so big. It's actually bigger than many of our blocks, unless we situate it the other way. We're gonna have to make a specific block for this, break up our block pattern, unless we co-opt a block over here, because this is just about right, which I'm not opposed to. But this building, plus 5% attractiveness, plus 10% entertainment, plus 10 well-being, absolutely really cool signature building. Put it on the waterfront dock. That's probably, it wouldn't be bad. I'm just gonna temporarily place it here. If we had some sort of a waterfront district with this building as the centerpiece, now we're drawing people to walk through here again, like you guys were saying. I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea. We'll do it. And then we'll have to do something to the back. We'll have to add more depth to this block, make a completely custom block. Because the last thing you want is on the waterfront to have a big blank wall like that. And this would otherwise have a very good view. So, yeah, it's a placeholder. That's for the next one. The next one will be developing this waterfront right here and a big park right in front of it. Looks like a converted warehouse. I completely agree. All the best in my recovery. Whose recovery? Was it my recovery? I just had a lot of deadlines and I stayed up too late for a week in a row. I'm good now. I slept last night and the night before. That was helpful. The Ferris wheel wouldn't fit in Paradise Bay. Wouldn't the you might be knowing where I'm going then. Although, so you want to talk about Magnolia County a little bit. What is happening next is we're going to go back to Paradise Bay for a little while. And it's going to be a park, but it's not going to be a Ferris wheel yet. The Ferris wheel will likely come to Paradise Bay. I don't think it's going to Bend. Amusement parks, you miss Park Life? Yeah, completely agree. I want offices. We have such a huge office demand, and I could fulfill it right here if we only had offices. The French offices. Not doing it. Not doing it. Might sound crazy, but you missed Nicolet Bay. I mean, I liked Nicolet Bay. I don't know. Any plans to build a high-density downtown in Magnolia County? Yeah. Paradise Bay is going to be the big city. Bend is large. It will continue to grow. But Paradise Bay, the downtown right now, I'm probably going to call a mulligan on the French buildings that I added during the pack overview. I'm going to keep the the apartment complex. But I'm going to redo that because that's where the density will probably begin. That, or there's a turn of the train track, and Planner Duck actually mentioned an idea for like a plaza as like the centerpiece there. It'll probably be there and by the train station where we start to increase the density there. And Paradise Bay is actually really constrained. So I think it makes sense that once it's completely hemmed in, it just starts shooting straight up. I should make a Scandinavian city. I feel like if you use the European assets in Skylines 2 right now, you're making a Scandinavian city. That was a joke, by the way, a bad one. You were going over Clearwater County and enjoying that content for the 5th time? So both Clearwater County and Nicolet Bay have one more. I said I would do it by the end of the year, and the end of the year is fast approaching. I should just do it and get it done. I already know what I've known what I wanted to do for a long time. It's just, so the big thing with Clearwater County, it's the loading times that has like scared me off. Because I have to reload every single save. And for anyone who doesn't know, the loading times for Magnolia County, or for Clearwater County, got up to like 6 minutes each by the end. It was pretty bad. So yeah, that's kind of one of the things that scared me off from doing it. Are we concerned with the traffic malware edition? Yes, but also like, I don't know yet. We don't know enough information. I don't think that we are, or I am personally not reformat your computer concerned like many people are. I would be change your passwords concerned. And that's just out of precaution. What? You didn't hear about the traffic malware or potential malware? Yeah, the traffic mod. It's front page of Reddit for Skylines. You should look into it if you haven't already. It is bad. Not good. It's also not the first time that something like that has happened, which also stinks. There we go. I like that. Building's a little bit taller than I might prefer, but I'll roll with it. Wow, very French, much metropolitan. Makes you glad that you're on Linux? Yeah. Honestly, it makes me wish that I could play on my Mac. I mean, if it weren't for this game, I would do 100% of my computing on a Mac. That's why you can't play Skylines 2. You're a Mac player. Yeah. Huge bummer. Huge bummer. You like that the French buildings bend around the curves? They're so pretty. They're all so pretty. I think that they look gorgeous. And when you move them like this, it just feels good. We've got to, I mean, I didn't do anything with the surfaces. I don't know that we're going to do that today. Maybe that's maybe where we start the next one is, and the next one, just so you guys know, both streams next week are going to be at the same time as this one today. So it's not that I'm just like adopting that as my only stream time. It's just because of Halloween, taking the kids out and all that stuff, just worked that way this time. And for the Verde Beach successor that we record live, I want to do that during the day. I don't want to be drinking any beer. I want to be drinking coffee. So yeah. You would consider having a dedicated PC laptop just to play this game? You mean you are considering it? I mean, the funny thing, as we talk about like what happened with the traffic mod, I do think it makes me happy. Like the PC that you guys are looking at right now, I don't do any general computing on this. Like all of my serious stuff, my emails, it's all behind me. If you can swing 2 computers, it is nice for some of those reasons. I mean, I don't have to worry about much of anything. I don't check my bank account or my email or anything on here. So yeah. The Darklander, yeah. The next 2 streams will be EU friendly. I mentioned this earlier too, especially for folks on YouTube. Next week, Tuesday, same time as this stream, we're gonna start a new city live. I'm gonna be recording a video live, basically, and I'm gonna try to keep it Verde Beach like, not calling a bunch of mulligans. We're just gonna do things on the fly, what feels right, and it should be fun. And at the end of the stream, I'll let you guys kind of dictate what we work on next, which is gonna be kind of fun. So, yeah. Bonjour, yes. Never owned a PC or Mac and console guy. I mean, to be fair, gaming on a PC is a much better experience, but also general computing on a Mac is like 1,000 times better. I might just leave a gap in this one. And create like a park space, like some sort of a cafe area. When's the mulligan vid? Number 40. So the next one is going to be 39. I haven't polled you guys at all today. Hold on. I'm going to poll you guys. This is going to be for Twitch. Do you want to know what MC39 is about? Yes or no? Give you guys a minute for that. I'll tell you. Yeah, you need democracy. We're gonna be super democratic about it. In the meantime, I'll continue to try to French bistro. Let's see. Yes. I mean, I can tell it's overwhelming yes already. You always found it weird that people basically don't care about gamers except for mobile gamers, you guess? Andrew on YouTube, I think the reason why is it all comes down to money. Like, it seems like Apple's trying now, but it's so late. But I mean, I think mobile games make a ton of money and they're easy. So why do companies care about them? That's why. Simple as that. They make a ton of money and they're easy. I hate mobile games. I think they suck. As far as mobile gaming for me, Wordle, not exactly mobile gaming. So it was 69% yes. Nice. So I'm going to be taking the hill, Pud Nature Reserve, and we're going to be making a big custom park. And part of this was me experimenting for that video, because I want to take a couple of unique buildings and kind of jam them together and make a really interesting park. I'm also going to introduce you to the mayor, the current mayor of Paradise Bay, and then you guys are gonna get to vote on who wins the election. So had some artwork made for him, and we'll see who you guys want to win. So I think it's gonna be fun. Only Candy Crush. I had Candy Crush, and that game just pisses me off. I ended up, I wasn't gonna pay, and they clearly wanted me to, and that's when I stopped being a mobile gamer. Why is it called the Pud Reserve? Patron. I decided to name it after a patron that reached out. So, Yorkie. I don't know if Yorkie's in here or not, but I owe Yorkie a message as well. Do we know if traffic mod, if the traffic mod is for CS1 or 2? That's for CS2. Traffic is the TMPE successor for CS2. Well, this didn't work. This looks terrible. Back to the drawing board on this one. And I think I wonder if I can add a French facade for the mixed use buildings. I don't know if I can take these off. I don't think I can, because I have the picker tool. I thought maybe I could just steal the front, but it's the whole building. These assets are, I get the impression that these assets are older and built differently. I could use the tree controller mod to remove all the foliage from the map and then fix the trees with the... Matthew, that's a good idea. I might just do that. Like, I would hate to do that, but also, like... Because it looks nice, but also, like, it's really frustrating to have them all popping up. Small park in the corner? I think you're right. I think I've got a small park it. There's one small gap. I've got to figure out something for that gap. And I think that might be it. If I can just grab that one. Kumplamas, thank you so much for the biddies. We desperately need triangle-shaped structures in the game, regardless of how they fit the grind or the grid or not. Completely agree. The angular buildings that we had in CS1. Very good. Once they were in the workshop. Because like this right here really just needs to be a triangle. And I'm going to do something super ugly here and basically just take this one, which I think, because it doesn't have that top piece, I might be able to just get away with one. Don't look too closely. That'll be our solution. Ah, dang it. I'm going to move some of those over, and then this... Yeah, I think this might be a don't look all that closely, and it's fine. I'd rather have this angle look good than worry about seeing a little bit of this structure through this one. Good enough for me. You want those bad peanut sports stadiums in CS2? Oh my goodness. That was one of the very best content creator packs. When that one came, I think that's probably the content creator pack that made me want all of the CS. Like, there were so many people who were like, I want all the CS1 assets in CS2. And I was like, well, that's not reasonable. And then we get that asset pack dropped at the end. And it's like, now you're going to make me go back to not having these? I don't want that. Actually, hey, I will take that. That looks better. You got to spend a lot more time on these, but boy, oh boy, is it satisfying when you get it right. When you get it right, it feels good. Savage, thank you for being here. Hopefully everything's good in Lisbon. Hopefully you guys, I guess, I don't know if the storms and the flooding is just in Spain and just in the north, or if you guys have dealt with a lot of that water as well. Hopefully not. From what I've heard, it's brutal. Or is it in the south, actually? The mountain pack being for CS1 made you big sad? Yeah, I won't lie. Oh, Teddy was in here. Beautiful maps. I wouldn't be sad. It's easy. I don't know how many people have done this. It's not hard to take a map from CS1 and move it into CS2. And I am very curious if anyone's going to start doing that for old maps. I mean, I was able to get Verde Beach working and like passable in like an hour. Like it's not an insignificant amount of time. It's very manual work, but you can do it. And I wonder if anyone's going to do that. The only negative is that you have a massive white swaths of nothing in these structures. Feels like you need assets around the wall. Yeah, I wish, and maybe this will come down the line. I wish that we had decals of windows even to stick on here. Because like I could put graffiti or something, but that definitely doesn't feel right. Yeah, I agree. That's like the one thing I would say about this that I don't love is that part. So we're likely going to just throw some big old trees back here. So something like this with a gigantic oak. No, too big. I take back everything I just said. This should be a cafe space. Hey, Biffa's in here. Good evening, Biffa. Hopefully you're doing well. I told everyone about the challenge, Biffa. So I hope you partake. No pressure. A large mural. You know what? In honor of Biffa, do I have... There we go. Biffa's here. Biffa gets a poster. We'll give Moose one too. You love a good challenge? I love it. I love it. There we go. There we go. What map am I using? This is Bayport, Michigan. It is a it's a very nice map. It's that's not very nice. It's very flat. So if you just want to build a whole bunch, the only thing, and this is the thing I've been talking about a little bit. I love the concept. These are all custom tiles. You could buy one farm at a time. The only thing I don't love is that in the areas that have the forest, trees are sunken into the ground and I keep forgetting to remove them. And as a result, I've created lots of problems. And I think that if you had a lower powered machine, you also might struggle with the requirements of this one. Because just a lot. It's a lot. You forget how delayed YouTube live is compared to Twitch? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot slower. They're good to see you in here, buddy. How are you doing? It's not uncommon for older buildings to have these flat sides exposed. We're adjoining building. That's a good point. Even in my in my hometown, we had a lot of, I guess, wall-to-wall type buildings where you'd have the brick exposed on the side because a building was demolished in favor of a parking lot or something like that. So that's a good point. That is a good point. There we go. Not a use for this, but it just kind of decorates it and makes it feel a little bit better. And I might just throw a tree in the front. Wonder why in CS2 you have almost no wall-to-wall buildings? Odin, you're not playing the same game I'm playing then. I think there's a ton of wall-to-wall buildings in CS2. I mean, think about all the French buildings that we just got are all wall-to-wall. Plus all the row homes are all wall-to-wall. So I mean, I feel like we've had a fair number of wall-to-wall buildings, truthfully. These are all just too big. Guess we'll go with Apple. It's funny. It seemed like such a reasonable space, and then I add these and it just feels completely out of hand. Make it younger, but it's gonna age. So like, I could make it younger, but I'll tell you what, at my first house, I made the mistake of not thinking about what my landscaping would look like when it was older. And would you guys believe that in reality, I love landscaping as much as I do in the game? And I had bushes everywhere. I was going every weekend and I'd get another bush and I'd plant that thing. Little tiny lot, but I had all the bushes. I took the whole back. I had a fence. I dug up every last bit of it. I pulled out all the grass. I put a whole bunch of bushes, and then they were all too close to one another. They died. So mixed uses, wall to wall too. Yeah. Have I ever seen a city planner portrayed accurately on the big screen or at all? I don't think city planners are often portrayed on the... I mean, what? Parks and Rec? I think that they talked about planning and like what the planner's role is, and I thought it was fairly accurate in the limitations, but it was a very pessimistic view of what a planner can do. Mark Brandanowitz. Apple trees are too short and bulky. Yeah, what I really want is a crab apple. Like a little tiny crab apple that is colorful. And I just don't have that. Urban landscape design is really interesting. Melissa, it really is. It's one of the courses that I had that nearly caused me to change my major. I had an urban design course, and it's probably the class I enjoyed the most. That wasn't a planning class. It's very, very interesting. Did I ever work with landscape architects? All the time. So reviewing landscape plans. So like, for every development, you require a certain amount of landscaping, and I would go through the landscape architect's plans. Landscape architects also oftentimes put together the lighting plans. So, especially outside, and then they're talking to me about foot candles and stuff like that. Like how much lighting you actually need around a specific building and things of that nature based on the code. So yeah, worked with landscape architects quite a bit. Lighting is so important. It really is. I mean, lighting is it's security. It's everything. It's really important. Buildings can't be accessible without adequate lighting too. So another important consideration. Worked as a landscape architect for 7 or 8 years. Ooh. So did you like the career if you worked as a landscape architect? I personally, I imagine that would be a very satisfying career. Trees that drop fruit aren't recommended for urban trees as they cause issues. Funny thing about that is it depends. In my city, they have been for a while. Nobody's really taken them up on it. They've wanted people to plant fruit trees in urban areas for food. So like, yeah, there are maintenance considerations that are very real. But a free source of food for people, also pretty amazing. So cuts both ways. That one's a tough one. You did. You worked a lot. Worked on a lot of master plan projects as well as urban projects out of China. Oh, I imagine that those were fascinating. Being able to see your projects come to life in short order. I mean, that's I think depending on where you work, that can be the most difficult part of being a planner in general, or an architect. Is just how long it can take to see a vision get realized. If you're in China, man, the things that you're working on are probably getting built shortly after you work on them. Let's have coiled oranges. I don't know what that means. Your building's been in the permit for 8 months, still waiting. I'm sorry. I desperately hope it's not the planner that's causing that delay. Yeah, I mean that is the reality in many places, is that it just takes. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing that cities could do, like whenever I hear a city has, like, we have all these problems with, like affordable housing, like, well, how long does it take to build something? And why does it take a long time? It's probably the number one reason. Like if your permitting process is slow, yeah, that's going to be why your housing is not affordable. A big component of it. Land use review, love us. You had all your diagrams perfect for them. Okay, I've worked with people like you then. You work with some people and they just like, they have no idea what they're talking about, and you have to hold their hand all the way through. I remember one of the worst projects I ever worked on. It was someone who, like, clearly they weren't into planning, which is fine. Most people aren't. But they were putting together like, it was plans for like an auto repair dealership or something, an auto repair place. And they just couldn't complete the most basic of diagrams that we needed to have to be able to review what they were doing. And it made the whole process miserable. They were unhappy. I was unhappy. Everyone was unhappy. And it went on forever. So when you get people that know what they're talking about, my goodness, it's super helpful. I hope they enjoy walking through all the flowers. Isn't also the kinds of homes built too? Many share rent apartments and not enough family sized. That is a real concern. So I in my county, one of the, like, there's not very many 3-bedroom apartments. And like, if you have a family, a 3-bedroom apartment is kind of like the sweet spot. That's what you need. If you have 2 kids and parents or more, like, so yeah, and there aren't many of them. That is true. Excuse me, we're planting stuff. I am completely zoning out. This is like where I get into my happy place. I'm sorry, guys. I could sit and just plant random things for hours. It's super relaxing to me. Like everyone plays City Skylines and similar games for their own reasons. You know, why does one play a game that doesn't have a defined goal? And we all have our own reasons. We all have our own rationale. And for me, it is because I just love planting little things. I don't even know if this looks any good, but I've enjoyed it. So it doesn't really matter if it looks good. I've enjoyed putting it together. Why are they walking on the grass? Because I didn't make the streets wide enough. So if I wanted to fix that, I bet you if I were to make this, two and a half meters, I just impacted every road in the city, but now they're on the sidewalk. Maybe it's for the best that you said that. Well, they're not. They're still not. They want 3.5 meters, which I think is excessive. Yeah, still walking on the grass. Not gonna worry about it. Not gonna worry about it. Your city just reported your developers build lots of lots, too much small condos, and they're sitting empty in a housing crisis. You would think that developers would build the housing that's needed because it would sell. They don't always. Yeah, it's a tough one. No good answers there, unfortunately. Short of cities getting really prescriptive, and people don't like that either. Is CPP the planner goat of all time? No. I am for certainly not. The last thing you designed was a duplex. Each side was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I mean, that's a rational building. I think, guys, I'm happy with the way these couple of blocks have turned out. They're not perfect. This is probably the most European looking thing I've ever built, though. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. Mods. Robert Moses is the GOAT planner of all time. That is a hot take right there. That is a super hot take. What's that long boy building by itself? This is a reminder for all of us for next week Friday. Remind me that we have to we're building this waterfront. This is going to be the centerpiece. And we'll make a nice custom block around this. We also need to figure this part out. I want to keep the maze working. Doesn't even seem like it is right now. Dang it. Oh. Did they find another way? Oh, they're all driving now because we have parking here. That's frustrating. Hold on. I've got to be the evil parking remover. And now they can walk through the maze again to get back here. Maze 1 is too expensive. I always mispronounce that. No. Yeah, Corbusier. If you want really wide roads, and we would just basically do this. Corbusier is proud of me now because I've just done a whole bunch of low rent apartments right in a row. Just like, perfect. And obviously the city needs it. Honestly, okay. Before I give up on that idea, we'll do a little bit of low rent housing. I'm gonna do it right down here. We'll redevelop just a little bit. There we go, right by the train station. Perfect. The projects, Is it really the projects though? If they have excellent access to transit and they're right by the train, I mean is it the projects or is this a future gentrified building? Got to pepper them in. You're probably right about that, and we will fix that down the line. I think for now I'm gonna save this thing, and we are gonna play a little bit of GeoGuessr. We have ads coming. Perfect timing actually. On Twitch. Make French. Wait, this is the French low rent. Well, I'll speed it along so we can see what it looks like. And I'll add some paths in between, just to take it to the next level. It's the projects, buddy. Okay, so I just made the fancy projects. It's fine. It's, if you want it to be the projects though, I've got to let it pop in. And do I have some of the dirt decals? I got graffiti. Where are these? I can't even think right now. I think they're supposed to be in here, and I don't have them in here. Bummer. I have potholes and stuff, but yeah. Oh, no, I do have them. Okay. Now we'll detail it to be the projects. There we go. You guys said I built the projects. Now I have. Honestly, though, my grandma lived in an apartment building that looked very similar to this. So it was elderly housing. Didn't look dirty. Certainly not only on one side. Mod, stop me. Impossible. You guys have done this to me. I was just chilling. I wasn't gonna make the projects, and you guys made me. I'll leave it at 2 dirty buildings. Low income French assets are still beautiful. They really are, honestly. So, talking about Magnolia County, one of the things I really want to do is have an update to the college, because these to me look just like college dormitories, but like they're very nice looking. They'd be perfect for that. And then the courtyard, I actually looked at a condo in the 6 unit by 6 unit courtyard. It looked just like that. It was a courtyard unit looking at like a garden. Absolutely awesome. It's not the project, it's a 5th floor. That's true. It's not tall enough for that. This is just apartments that every city needs, that they just don't have enough of. And they're clean because we care. Okay, guys, I'm gonna save this. And I'll share it right away. And then a couple rounds of GeoGuessr. I want you guys to think about where you want to play. We're gonna do one world, but we'll do one that's not world. Fence it off. Valencia has many of these, or Vienna, I'd rather. Australia. You guys want to do Australia? I will poll YouTube. But I have a feeling people will start peeling off on YouTube. But we'll poll YouTube. Give me 1 second and we'll get back to it. Germany, Mexico, Germany. I see Germany twice. I'd be okay doing Germany. Can we do a US? I'm okay with any. I'll poll you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna poll YouTube for this. But let me get everything pulled up. I've got like 50 web browsers open right now. Dangerous. Now here we are. And I'm gonna paste this in here. Give me 1 second. I gotta change what we're doing over on Twitch. And then I'm gonna poll you guys on YouTube. For anyone on Twitch who's like not into this, you should stick around anyway, because we're gonna raid somebody. It's gonna be fun once we're done, and this will go quick. This will go quick. It usually does. Okay, poll. What should we play? Okay, Twitch, YouTube. I'm gonna be looking in the next 5 seconds. I'm gonna pick the first 5 things that come up in the chat. So, okay, Germany's one. Next one. How many options can I add on YouTube, actually? I could add 4. US, Spain, and Iceland. You guys get 60 seconds now to go on YouTube and vote. And no one can skew it there. So far, US is crushing it with 2 votes. 54 votes. US is absolutely crushing it, which is surprising to me. Germany's catching up, though. 60 votes. South Africa. Maybe next time. You want to steal the vote? Here's the thing. Anyone on Twitch, all you got to do is go over to YouTube, and you can do it. Another 26 seconds. It looks like the US is just crushing it. Bluntly, it's 44% to 30, and then a few for Spain and Ireland. If it would have just been Germany and US, I think Germany would have won. But with the other options and 7 seconds left, I'm gonna start looking already. There we go. There we go. We'll start with US. I think I'll poll you guys for the second one too. Let's jump in. It's first past the post. 2-round system. You guys will get round 2. You guys will get round 2. Honestly, I'm afraid to do the US because half of these places look the same, and I'm gonna be way off and embarrass myself. Although, what is this? Get a state flag there. Iowa. I'm gonna say it. Okay. Do it, Iowa. Who knows where that is, though? Ah, actually, don't look at my screen, guys. Don't look at my screen. Let's see. What street was this? 6th at 15th. Okay, okay. 6th at 15th. Which 6th is it? Guessed. I feel good about that. That wasn't bad. Yeah, the perils of democracy. You might end up in Iowa. Is Idaho Midwest? No, my Idaho's Mountain West. Idaho might look Midwest, though, in some parts. YouTube is so behind you missed the whole round? Well, oof. US is boring, little bug? I disagree. The US is very varied. As a German, that's hard. A number of us did all right with that one. God of Radio, I'm coming after you. You went Idaho? You're a noob? I got lucky and I saw the Iowa flag and it actually says Iowa on it. What is that? The trick, I think, for the US is foliage, obviously, is a big one. The other thing is some states or some signs will have the state. But this one, like where we are right now, Pennsylvania. I wouldn't have had any easy way of figuring that out, short of inadvertently seeing that on the side of a vehicle. We like to label things in the US. So like the city, like I would assume that this sign up here says where we are. If not, the post office would likely have it on the window. We love to label things. We need to put our flag. We have a big bad flag. We do love to put our flag everywhere. Well, I know that this is in Pennsylvania. Completely don't know where it is though. It feels we'll go outside of Allentown. We'll hope for the best. Oh, I was closer and I moved it. Shoot. 26 miles isn't bad though. 26 miles isn't bad. Erie, Pennsylvania. As a German, it looks nearly the same. It is very similar. I think you could debate someone about whether portions of Pennsylvania are Midwestern or not. But now here we are again, and this looks nothing like it. Even the street signs are different. All the foliage is different. This California, it's got a palm tree, mountains in the background. But it could be Florida. Oh, were there mountains? I think there was. If there are mountains, it's California. If there's not, then it's Florida. Looks French. This does. Yeah, the palm tree is a giveaway. It just looks really green. Hey, there's a Mach-E. Cool. I'd say we're in California. No idea where though. Just like the suburbs, which is like a bunch of California. Do they know how to party? I would say so. I have no idea. Oh, dang it. These don't look like California plates to me either. I'm going to say it's the Bay Area because it's greener and because I don't recognize it. And I'm probably wrong. Oh, no, it was. Okay. I feel good about that. Just the vibes. My buddy lived in San Jose. I should have understood the vibes. I feel good though. I didn't say where I want to be, but fourth feels good. As a geography major in the US, like I should do well on this one. Medicaid access. This feels southern. I see Spanish. Doesn't mean much of anything. Utah? This couldn't be Utah, is it? Palm tree. Palm tree. Are we in Florida? Oh, now I'm confused. Now I'm really confused. Arizona? I could see that. It's just so green. 404. And it does kind of look like Arizona. Minus all the green. I'm leaning towards Florida. Mississippi or Louisiana, Texas. I could see both of those as well. Hoping to see like a sign or a flag or something. I've got no idea. Church of Freedom. Perfect. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, dang it. I lost track of time. Oh, boy. It was Florida. Oh. Yep. Not my finest moment right there, folks. That's the best way to fall out of the rankings. Why are we playing GeoGuessr? We always end the streams with a little bit of GeoGuessr. We accomplished our goal of making making Bayport, Michigan French. And now we've established a goal for next time. And now we're finishing up with a little bit of GeoGuessr. Oh, man, I'm so thrown off by the fact that I screwed that up so bad. Kills me. This, to me, kind of reminds me of I don't know. It feels like Colorado to me. I don't know that it is, though. Church of America. They definitely saw the Church of Freedom. Quick look up the area code. That is an easy giveaway as well. I feel like I'm gonna screw this one up. Wait. Riverview, St. Louis. There we go. And this is. Well, I know it's gonna be somewhere down here. I'm gonna be happy with that. Good enough. We're close to downtown St. Louis. I'll take it. Dang it. 20th place. If I would have guessed that one, I think I would have been in the top 5. I failed that one. Train, though. Good job. Dex Terez. Thank you so much for playing as well. Jame Man. 3rd place. Excellent work. God of Radio. 4th place. Nice work. Phoenix left. Good game. One more round. And then we're going to call it. And for this one, I'm gonna pull Twitch, and you guys know what this means: absolute pandemonium. Kick all of you guys out. We'll copy it again, and then I need. We're gonna do a different map. What map? So I get 5 responses. First 5 that I see, I'm going to put Germany back in there, considering Germany came in second. 4 more responses. Canada, Australia, France, Netherlands. Actually, Ireland was first. Okay. You got a minute. And on Twitch, you can buy votes. You can use your channel points, not buy them. The channel points are worthless. So do what you want with them. Portugal was before Austria, was it? I missed it. I'm sorry. The real Darklander, I failed you. I would have loved Greece too. Canada is pulling ahead. There must be a bunch of Canadians in here. France is I guess we're gonna figure out the most desired French-speaking country, Canada or France. So far, Canada's pulling ahead. We had Portugal last time. We did, didn't we? You're right. I forgot about that. Just a couple seconds left, and it looks like we're going to be in Canada. I don't know how. You know the problem? We've got a lot of Europeans in here right now. Yet you guys are all, like, you're not uniting around one country. You're splitting your vote between 3 of them. So all of the North Americans go, oh, yeah, we'll do Canada. The official map of Canada. I have a feeling we're going to be in the forest. Canada is the best French-speaking country. I'm not getting in the middle of that. Boom. And we're going. Democracy left us very divided, apparently. Very, very close. This is going to be really hard. I feel like Canada, to me, looks like the US. And it's bigger. And, well, not bigger, but it's more spread out. And, like, what is this? I have no idea. I don't even know what province this is. 62% of voters didn't agree. I know. That is That is one of the problems with having so many different options. Most people didn't want this, but still, it's what we end up with. Let's see. Oh. Royal LePage. It sounds French. Everything America looks the same. Well, I would say that Canada has the exact same differences that the US has. In that if you are out east, it looks like out east. If you're in the mountains, it looks like in the mountains. And if you're in this area, which to me just looks like random place near Winnipeg. That's my guess. Random place near Winnipeg. Incorrect. Way over here. Way on the East Coast, Prince Edward Island. Okay. That's a bad start. We'll do it. Excuse the typos. Royal LePage is active throughout Canada. That is not helpful. Canada Storage, all Canadian. This suburb of where? It's a nice boat. Yeah, you're right. There's the Royal LePage again. Royal LePage. Okay, so they're basically like Century 21 or something. That's not helpful. It's a national retailer, realtor. You know what? Those tiles to me say warmer place out west. This looks Pacific Northwest. This has to be a Vancouver suburb. Yeah, I'm going with Vancouver suburb. And I think I have no idea. I've never been to Canada. I need to go. I have not been. Check the street signs. It has an Ontario vibe. This has an Ontario vibe. I'm already committed. Oh. I'm going to do worse in Canada than I've done in Europe. This is terrible. You guys did tell me. Not much red brick out west. Why do you guys have, why was I seeing tiled roofs? That makes no sense. Like, that's the same climate. There's one house that I can think of in Madison that has it. And the first time I saw it, it was stucco with a tile roof like that. Makes no sense. Well, this is helpful. Except that that's like the most rural province. Oh my goodness. So, is Bromhead the name of the place? There is a sign. This is helpful. It's also like, we're not even on a highway. We're like driving through someone's farm. Corner gas. Oh wow, we're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Are there any cities? Regina. When in doubt, I normally pick the largest place. I have no idea. It's the only place I've heard of. And I've heard of Moose Jaw. We'll say we're outside of Moose Jaw. Near Winnipeg? It's near North Dakota. I'm going to take that. That was an acceptable round result. Round 4. Little House on the Prairie. Well, this looks like a nice town. Small town. It looks a lot like... This looks like exactly like where I grew up. Except with no sidewalks and graffiti. We didn't have any graffiti where I grew up. Which makes me think that maybe this is outside of a bigger city. Ooh, that's French. French first. As is that. Okay, well that is helpful. Yeah, it's definitely, we're definitely somewhere in Quebec. I'm just gonna say we're outside of Montreal for now. Transit, but not public transit. You think it's Eastern Ontario? Eastern Ontario is French too? I never realized that. I guess I didn't realize how close. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna take that. That's close enough for me. 20 miles. Good for 50th place. 26 right there. Great. This is Quebec City, guys. Montreal. Okay, final one. And I'm not even... There's a school. Oakland's. Cool. That makes me think west. It probably shouldn't. You think this is rural Quebec? Or is that the last one? Yeah, this to me, that looks like Seattle. This has to be Vancouver. This has to be. I'm probably wrong again. I see some people already locking it in. Kenneth, you're locking it? Does that mean that you already know where you are? Halton Recycling. No names on it. It's amazing to me. Like, I feel like everywhere in the US, there's just like the name of the place everywhere. You can't escape it. The blue road signs mean it's Quebec. Okay. I'm going to believe you. We'll say Quebec City this time. No, I was right. Dang it. Oh, it was on the Victoria. It was west. I went west when I should have gone east and vice versa. Well, boosted. Good game, Jaheim. Good game. AHL Scout. Good game. Paper Tiger. Good game. Breezy Bridge. Good game. Whew, 66. That might have been as bad as South America for me. That was tough. That was really tough. Always trust your gut. I know. I should have. I didn't. I should have. Okay, guys. I think we are going to raid somebody. But I want to thank you all before we go our separate ways. I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out. Super chill. Appreciate you guys. Remember, Tuesday there'll be a stream, 11 o'clock on Twitch only, not on YouTube. And that'll come out later on that week, most likely, as a YouTube video, which should be a lot of fun. Thank you for being here. Variety, thank you for the Prime. Malton, thank you so much for the Prime. Longtime fan, but 2 months up. Appreciate you. PDX Zeg, thank you for the 6 months of tier 1. Appreciate you guys. It was Poplar. So we're gonna jump off YouTube, but thank you so much for joining us. Hold on, I'm gonna finish you guys off the right way. There we go. All right. Thank you so much, YouTube. Take care. Twitch, don't leave. We're gonna raid somebody. Bye, YouTube. And I see lots of hearts. Lots of hearts for lots of hearts. Thank you guys, YouTube. Bye-bye. Okay, Twitch. Where do you guys want to get?